welcome to IORK 2025, and it's the one you've all been waiting for. It's the finals. This is where champions are going to be crowned. This is where kings are going to be made. This is where they live and they die. There is winner takes all. Doesn't matter about everything previously that's happened. Everything comes down to now. And this is our first race up. Who we've got on the grid?
Okay, off grid 1 we have card number 13, Hamish Mackay. Grid 2 with card number 5, Brett Hoggins. Off grid number 3, one of the favourites, card number 18, Charlie Keyworth. Off grid number 4 is card number 11, Phil Ellsworth. Off grid number 5, another one of the favourites, card number 14, Mandela Pluck. Of course, he's competed in the World Finals at São Paulo in Brazil. Off grid 6 is card number 20, Donald O'Reilly. Off grid 7, card number 3, Malcolm Hugenvoice. Off grid 8, another one of the favourites. It is card number 12 from Wellington. It is Tui Smiler. Off grid 9 is card number 4, Harry Wilcox. Off grid 10 we have card number 17, Mark Crook. Grid 11, one of Christchurch's finest. It is card number 21, Jacob Fleming. And off grid 12, one of Auckland's finest. It is card number 8, Daniel Douglas. Off grid 13 is card number 10, the Hamiltonian, Johnny Curtis, former champion. Off grid 14 we have Curtis Smythe in cart 7. Off grid 15 is cart number 15, Quave Crowther from Nelson. And at the back end of the bus we have cart number 19 on grid 16. It is the Garden Cities, Jonathan Camp.
Yeah, fantastic group here for the under 7 for the 70 kg to 84.9 kg final. This has been a fantastic series throughout the grids, one of the larger groups that we've had throughout the event, and obviously a lot of fast peddlers. Those names you just read out, we've heard them throughout the week, and if you've been joining the live stream, you know some of these drivers are incredibly fast. So this one's probably one of the most important heat finals.
Well, of course it wasn't a heat final, it is the final. But I'll tell you what, if you looking at experience, you can't go past Mandela Pluck. Raced in the World Finals in São Paulo in Brazil, and certainly acquitted himself, represented New Zealand there. You've also got Tui Smiler, who competed in the New Zealand Youth Mini-Stock title back there in 2017 and 18 at Oxford Speedway in North Canterbury. He's another one you've got to watch out for. And don't forget, you cannot discount Charlie Keyworth.
I think you also can't discount Daniel Douglas as well, being a fantastic driver throughout this weekend. He's going to be fast. Charlie obviously up in this weight category with a weight vest, and Daniel pushing towards the lighter end. He's about 10 kgs over for this. So mix of weights throughout this category, but yeah, huge competition. Mandela Pluck's definitely been the favourite, but a good opportunity here, and we're off and away racing.
45 minutes, 4 pit stops. Who's it going to be? Mandela Pluck, or will it be Tui Smiler, or Charlie Keyworth? Spoil their party.
Mandela's been quite lucky because he was further back in the grid, but only starting in 4th, but he got to also pick quite a good kart, so Mandela's in quite a good position. He's definitely in the box seat for this race.
Well, looking for these guys to get into the high 27s, I'd expect, in this one. Down the back straight they go. Look at us, it's the charge of the Light Brigade as they go across the line for the first time. Mandela Pluck sits there in second place. And side by side is there with Charlie Keyworth up the inside.
There's so much bumping and crashing in between this one. Because this is the finals, it's all to play for. They've been having so many heats back to back that this is where it matters. And man, they're just all pushing. Hands already going up for pitting. Oh, red light.
Oh, we're going to insert around the back there. I'm not too sure who that was. But Mandela Pluck just got shuffled back from 2nd to 3rd. Yeah, well, and the order looks like Hamish Mackay out front from Charlie Keyworth and Mandela Pluck. Tui Smiler, the heavy hitters at the front of the field in this one at the moment.
Yeah, well, I'd just like to point out it's probably most likely due to mechanical. That's why the red lights happen. So we see some karts switching over. The grid gets sort of frozen in the position that it's in, and these drivers will be re-added back in. But that's probably going to change the race a little bit. But I wouldn't focus too much on who's in the front right now. It's fairly early days in this session.
Well, I'll tell you what, all the drivers are going to have to do a reset here. Oh, this will upset the nerves, especially those at the pointy end of the field.
It could upset them, but it could also settle them. A little bit of calm before the storm. Drivers getting quite pumped and amped as they get into the session, and then obviously when the red flag comes out, it sort of brings that level back down, so you might almost see a bit of a calm. But yeah, we've seen in this category before, we saw Mandela get a little bit worked up with a red flag previously, so maybe it's getting into his head again with another red flag. We'll have to see. He's a confident driver, and I'm pretty sure that he's got a cool, calm head. I don't think this is going to phase
him. Oh, no, I don't think it'll phase Mandela. I gave him the pit talk before this one, so I'm sure he'll be fine and composed.
Yeah, he seems to have a good strategy, so I'm not too worried about that. He's already quite far up on the grid, so in a good position, definitely in the box seat. Daniel Douglas sort of further back in that group of the red flag runners, so maybe a poor start from him, not really sure what happened there.
Well, Daniel's a great driver, but he hasn't faced this sort of competition before, I don't think.
Yeah, well, we had the semi-finals, now we've got the finals, and they're all mixed in again, so again, a whole bunch of drivers that have not raced each other all weekend, getting to face each other in the finals, but every one of these drivers has proved themselves. They've proved they're fast enough. They were the top 8 in the semi-finals. They've proved themselves in the heats. Every driver here has got skill and talent.
Well, these guys are the best of the best from around the country. I mean, you got from the south, as far south as Christchurch, is as far north as Whangarei this weekend.
Yeah, and Tui Smiler not looking phased there at all, so he's ready just to get amped and get going again. He's probably one of the few, there's a few competitors that are in t-shirts. I'm wondering about it getting a little bit cold. A couple of guys got jackets, but maybe the weather might set in soon.
Hey mate, you don't get cold when you're out there when you're circulating. In fact, you want that ventilation. No. You can have too much layers on, and that can really cook you in a race.
I can promise you, in this kind of temperature right now around this track, it gets really cold. The air starts to become bitey, and with the 70 kilometers per hour, you're not in a closed cabin like a car. So this is Auckland. It's not Christchurch, mate. For Auckland, the wind chill gets a little bit up there, so I think it'd be a factor for some of the drivers, but maybe for those Christchurch drivers, they're probably not worried about it as much as a factor.
Well, can we go 3 from 3 for the finals? So far, Christchurch drivers have won the first 2 finals. Can they make a hat trick? A 3-peat in this one.
Yeah, well, the Wellington guys have also been pretty deadly. The Wellington crew have showed their strength throughout the weekend. They've consistently been winning a whole bunch of heats, so I would never rule out the Wellington guys because they've been just brutal in this competition. And I wouldn't be a good commentator if I didn't shout out the local Auckland drivers because, man, they've been putting on a show, and I know they're out there. They're fantastic as well. Daniel Douglas from Auckland doing a great job, so I'm confident that Auckland can also push back. It doesn't matter which region you're from. If you're a fast driver, you're going to come through in this heat. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, red flag right now, a little bit of a lull in the period, but once we get going, I'm also watching I'm very evidently aware that the drivers are watching us right now. They're listening to what we're saying, so the commentary's never been quite as connected to the drivers. Typically we say stuff and they don't hear us, so we normally say a driver's pretty shit and no one knows. If I call anyone out right now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to see a finger.
Well, it looks like from what you've been saying, Daniel Douglas could be Auckland's one and only hope in this one.
No, he's definitely not Auckland's one and only hope. Definitely just one that I've been keeping an eye on throughout the weekend, but there's plenty of fast guys from Auckland, plenty of fast guys throughout this grid. We'd be here all night if we were naming all of them and why they were so good.
Well, plenty of Christchurch drivers also in this one. Of course, Hoogie out there, he's no slug. And of course, Jacob Fleming, he's been getting a few good places as well in car number 21.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing is just to wish all these drivers good luck in this heat. Hopefully that I wish every one of them could win, but only one can be the winner. But it's going to be good luck to all of them because it's going to be survival of the fittest.
It certainly will be.
And with everyone sort of organised back up and ready to go, back into order, racing order, that's going to help it a lot. I noticed Daniel Douglas there gave a tap on the kart number 8 and a little bit of a thumbs down, so maybe not quite as happy with his kart as some of the others. Obviously, there was an interesting strategy thing about IORK 2025, which is that you got to pick either your kart or your grid position. Maybe Daniel didn't get quite chose grid position. Well, he was quite far back in the grid, so I don't know what he picked. Did he pick a bad kart by mistake, or did he pick grid position? Subsequent to his results in the semi-finals.
Okay, let's go through the order now. Out front in first position at the moment is Hamish Mackay. Second place at the moment, Charlie Keyworth. He's one to watch, as well as Mandela Pluck sitting there in third. Also watch Brent Hoggins in fourth place at the moment, ahead of Tui Smiler. Then go back in sixth position, it's Hoogie. And behind Hoogie, we've got Phil Alsford, Harry Wilcox, Johnny Curtis, and Mark Cook.
Yeah, and
they're your top 10.
Tui and Phil being one of those really, and Charlie all being part of that fast Wellington crew. So you were talking about the Christchurch crew being strong, but that Wellington crew, they've got a lot of guys up in that top 10. So I'd say it's going to be a close one between you two.
Okay, it looks like we're about to go racing. Into turn one they go, and it's nose to tail stuff. Oh, look at the move now from Charlie Keyworth in second place, and Mandela Pluck had a look. Oh, and he's just gone back one.
There's a lot of bumping and pushing in this one. I'm seeing people go back just because of the hitting. Everyone's very close. Everyone's fighting for the same stretch of land, and these drivers are not wanting to give an inch. There is no quarter being given.
Okay, look at Tui Smiler right around the outside. He's at the front. Tui Smiler, your race leader. Where's he come from? He's come from Wellington.
Oh, this is fantastic. I've been wanting to see Tui versus Mandela versus Charlie all weekend long. This is what I've been waiting for, and it's turning out to be just as good as I was hoping for. Mandela is right on Tui, and Tui is making sure he's defending like crazy right now.
Well, Tui just a bit lighter. That could be an advantage, but we've seen earlier in the heats, of course, Mandela on average round about a tenth of a second quicker than Tui, so the pressure is on Tui from Mandela.
Oh man, this is an intense battle between the two of them, and they're walking away from the rest of the pack. Right now, Tui and Mandela are doing a fantastic job, and Charlie Keyworth's coming up in the rear, but it's a fantastic job from them.
Oh, look at the gaggle of geese going through turns 3 and 4. Oh, it's Malcolm Hugenvoist has got the advantage there into fourth place. That's terrific driving from him.
I'm watching the tyres on turn 5 just get completely and utterly shoved out of the way. The drivers are being super aggressive in this round. Everyone's pushing. Man, this is an intense race.
And it's certainly intense from our two front protagonists out front, Tui Smiler and Gaia Hammer and Tongs there with Mandela Pluck.
Charlie's just chasing behind them. He's not quite got the speed of them, but Charlie's close in behind. Man, this is a fantastic race. There's almost too much to comment on.
Oh, watch out for Johnny Curtis back there around about 9th place. The Hamiltonian has experienced a 1MZ before in this class.
Those at home get to see the gap now, right? The cars are going to come in. We're going into the camera onto turn 5. Look, here comes Tui. Here comes Mandela. And then there's the gap to Charlie. So a big gap between them right now forming. And this is not from a pit stop. This is from pace.
Well,
Charlie's getting past on the back straight. Charlie's not got the overall speed that... who's that? That's Phil Alsford. Phil Alsford from Wellington. He's saying, hey, this could be a Wellington 1-2.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not a big gap at the front. It's 0.48 of a second. That's nothing in these early stages.
Sorry,
remember, it was over 45 minutes and 4 pit stops.
Sorry, that's not Phil Alsford that's up there with Charlie Keyworth. That's actually a back marker, so Charlie's having to fight a little bit with a back marker there. Oh, we've got one into the tyre barriers. I said that turn 5 was getting pushed like crazy, and turn 5's completely and utterly stuck into that tyre barrier. He's not going anywhere.
Okay, this could upset the rhythm of our front running protagonists. We've got Tui Smiler and Mandela Pluck just coming up to these guys. The orange light will be on, I imagine.
And a few cars passing under orange, so that's a big no-no. There looks like there's going to be penalties given post-race for that. Again, everyone is really, really intense about this race, so a lot of people are pushing themselves to the edge. Oh no, what a miserable race this has turned out to be.
And let's get it straight, you can't pass under, you can't come into the pits under yellow.
Yeah, current rules are set that way, and Curtis Smythe was the one that ended up in that barrier, so miserable race finals for Curtis Smythe here. That's going to hurt him massively.
Okay, these two superstars out front, they're really annihilating the rest of the field at the moment. Even Charlie Keyworth can't keep up with them.
Yeah, totally. I think the biggest advantage right now for Tui and Mandela is they've got to be grateful that was not a red flag. If that had been a red flag, their entire gap would have been completely gone again.
And look at this, they're into the 27s already. We've got Tui Smiler at 27.89, and not to be outdone, Mandela Pluck at 27.83.
Yeah, totally. It's been an intense battle so far. Again, another yellow. We might see a few more of these throughout the rest of this race because these guys are racing so hard and so intense. They're not giving any quarter. These tires are getting pushed around like crazy, and the marshals have got to keep this track safe. So obviously, it's going to affect the racing a little bit. If these guys want to have a clean race, they need to start racing a bit more fair.
Well, pick up your race leaders once again. It looks like Tui Smiler trying to get away from Mandela Pluck. But Mandela Pluck is sticking to him like glue. They're in second place, just a couple of car lengths behind.
Yeah, both of them better be careful because they must come up to back markers, and at that point that's really going to hurt one of them or the other one. Whichever one pits, the other one should stay out or vice versa. But once they get up to that back marker, they're going to have to make that call. Is it time to pit now or do I keep pushing?
Well, look at that. Charlie Keyworth is just trying to negotiate around the back marker at this stage. They're back there in third place.
Yeah, and that's obviously removing Charlie from the equation here and just allowing Tui and Mandela to build out that lead. That lead's going to be hugely important when it comes down to the pit stop strategies because there's a very real potential chance here that Tui and Mandela will have the opportunity to pit and come out and still maintain that lead.
Well, let's pick up your race leaders just going down the back straight. And it is Tui Smiler, the man that raced out of Timor Speedway in Lower Hutt.
Yeah,
Upper Hutt, sorry.
Tui's been really strong in this session, really stepped up a whole nother level and brought his A game into this race. Tui's doing a fantastic job of holding off Mandela. I think Mandela was hoping for a slightly easier race, but this is turning out to Tui's giving him a hard go. If Mandela wins this, he wins it on merit.
Well, Mandela will be looking for that ANZ title. He's got a fair bit of work to do, but this is the man with all the experience, having competed in the World Champs in Sao Paulo in Brazil. And I hear that he could be having another campaign at the World Champs next year.
Oh, it's fantastic. And if Tui out here manages to do better than that, Tui might have to start booking a flight ticket up to Brazil as well because he's doing a fantastic job right now.
Yeah, but it won't be in Brazil. He can go to Brazil if he likes, but the World Champs won't be there next year.
They're really lucky the traffic actually ended up pitting, so Tui and Mandela didn't have to worry about that car at that point, but they've still got a little bit. They're catching up to Curtis Smythe at the back.
Well, that gap has increased. Tui Smiler out to a 1.01 second lead over Mandela Pluck. And there we go, Charlie Keyworth in the pits for his first pit stop.
Daniel Douglas overshot the pit box there for a little bit and then ended up going past it, so that's going to be costly for Daniel Douglas. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty from that one because that was just a simple mistake with the brakes being a little bit too warm.
Well, I think what Mandela Pluck will be looking for is lap traffic to hold up Tui Smiler because that's where he could make his move.
Totally, but if Tui's smart, as soon as he hits that lap traffic and before Mandela can get an opportunity to attack him, he should pit.
Well, we have seen before in one of the earlier heat races, Tui came up behind the back marker and got held up and lost the lead.
Yeah, Tui made his way up to another back marker, and it's just so coincidental that at the exact moment that back marker, Daniel Douglas pitted again. So once again, Tui's luck is just being quite fortunate, and he's not running into any back markers because every time he gets close to them, they end up pitting.
And you've got to ask the question, when he comes up behind the Christchurch drivers, are they going to make it easy for Tui?
I'm just noticing Mandela's falling a little bit back, and he's pitting, so he's fallen a little bit back and unable to take the charge to Tui, and he's decided to take his opportunity to pit now to clear air. That's probably a good strategy from him. He got some good laps in there at the beginning, opportunity to focus now on beating Tui by strategy, not on the racetrack and trying to pass him. Tui's just a little bit too quick for that. It's not that Mandela couldn't pass Tui, it's just because Tui was good enough and fast enough to hold Mandela off.
Mandela's throttle pedal is gyrating in the pit lane as he goes away.
I'm sure the adrenaline right now is running through the roof for him. He knows what's on the line here, he knows what's at stake, so I'm sure he's just, every moment sitting in that pit lane is feeling like an hour of agony.
I'll tell you what, we've got some backup drivers from Christchurch there looking for a podium. We've got Jacob Fleming sitting there in third, and not to be outdone, Malcolm Hugenboyce in fourth place at the moment to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, and Phil Elspeth there holding up the second position right now, obviously not taking into account the brakes that have come through. Mandela ended up falling to 7th, so from second to 7th, that's the difference that this pit stop makes. And Tui's now in the pits as well, so this is going to be really interesting. Where does Tui come out compared to Mandela?
Oh, this is going to be oh so crucial. Tui Smiler, the former mini-stock driver, sits in the pits.
just trying to pick out where Mandela is right now on the track, because this is going to be basically a battle for the lead.
Well, has Mandela gone through? No, he's behind.
Tui's got a decent gap on Mandela there. Mandela's now got 3 back markers in between him and Tui, so that's been a costly one for Mandela. The strategy hasn't quite played out. Tui said, you pitted, time for me to pit. That was a really smart move from whoever's calling Tui's strategy. Great timing for that, because it basically completely negated what Mandela was trying to do.
Well, I think, to be fair, I think Mandela may have been just a little bit overcautious coming into the pits.
Yeah, it was a good strategy from him, and it's just Tui's team just won up that again, so whoever's doing Mandela's pitch strategy probably wants to factor that in, that Tui's team's probably paying attention to what he's doing.
But I'll tell you what, Mandela wasting no time getting through the traffic, and we'll just check that gap. It's 0 point, no, that's not right, because that's the lead. Bill Elsford, your race leader, 0.35 of a second ahead of Jacob Fleming, with another 2 seconds back to Malcolm Hugenboys. Then go back to Tui Smiler, Curtis Smythe, and Mandela Pluck.
Yeah, but this has ended up being almost a 4-second lead for Tui Smythe once you take into account the pit stop. So Tui there gaining basically 4 seconds on Mandela. That's massive in this race.
Oh, here comes Charlie Keyworth for his second pit stop. Just having a look down the order, where is Charlie?
A little bit further back, he's in 10th. He's done a couple of stops already, so Charlie's idea of doing multiple pit stops early on. We saw it in the 100 kg. He's 45 minutes, they got all the pit stops done and just focused on the racing. Don't know how good of a strategy that is, because you don't end up benefiting from racing in clear air. But if Charlie comes out now, if he came out even just a few seconds later, he'd be almost in the perfect zone, because that's the biggest gap on the track right now. There's almost no one racing in it. That was a great stop from Charlie. He's going to have a good opportunity to put in some really good lap times now.
Well, I can tell Charlie is pumped. So to pick up your race leader once again, it is kart number 11, Bill Elsford. In second place, it is kart 21, Jacob Fleming. Then go back to Hoogie, Malcolm Hugenboys in third in kart number 3. Tui Smiler sits there in the 4th place in kart number 12.
And I'll tell you who's having a great little battle right now, Mandela Pluck and Daniel Douglas. Not a fight for position, but certainly a fight for Mandela's win chances, and Daniel Douglas is not giving him any quarter. He's not making it easy on him, so Daniel Douglas probably not in for a fight for the win just yet right now, but Mandela is certainly having to fight with him just as hard as he was Tui.
Well, of course, this race is over 45 minutes, 4 pit stops, so this race can come back to Mandela.
Totally.
But Bill Elsford doing a great job out front at the moment from Jacob Fleming.
Wow, look at that. We're already 26 minutes left on this race. I mean, I've been so enthralled by this race, it feels like it only started 5 minutes ago, but it actually started ages ago, basically. Very intense race right now.
And just looking at the gap between Tui Smiler and what do we got? We've got Mandela Pluck. It is 5 seconds between these two.
Yeah, totally, and a few more pits to go, so a bit of a tough one for them. It's really important for these drivers to remember how many pits they've done. We saw some mistakes in the 100 of people pitting too many times, people not pitting enough times, people pitting enough times but not getting mistakenly recorded. So,
and here he is, Tui Smiler in the pits once again. I think this may be his second pit stop.
Yeah, getting marked off the second pit stop, so good job from Tui. How will this factor into what Mandela Pluck is doing?
Well, we'll see if he comes out in traffic or whether he comes out in clear air. That could be key here.
Yeah, totally clear air right now is the secret to winning this race. We saw Charlie Keyworth just a little ahead. Tui's got a big gaggle in front of him, so not a great stop from Tui there. Ends up putting him into a bit of lap traffic.
I'll tell you what, Tui is almost 3/4 of a lap ahead of Charlie Keyworth.
Yeah, there definitely is a fight between, right now, the favourites would have to be either Tui Smiler or Mandela Pluck.
But we will go through the order. In first place, it is Phil Ashford, kart number 11. Second place, kart 21, at the moment, is Jacob Fleming. Third place, it is Hoogie, Malcolm Hugenboys, in kart number 3. Then we move back to kart number 7, Curtis Smythe. Then it is kart 14, Mandela Pluck. And Mark Crook sits there in 6th place in kart number 17.
Charlie Keyworth just came in for his other pit now, so Charlie's got another one done on his belt, but yeah, it's putting him a little bit out of this race a little bit. But Charlie's a very, very fast driver, so he's got a lot to do to win this one. Charlie's almost going to get lapped by Tui this race.
Well, obviously he's on a alternative strategy, if you'd like to say. And don't discount Charlie Keyworth. He is one of the fastest competitors here this weekend.
Yeah, totally. Oh, there's good little battles, there's little moments of switchbacks and stuff like that. There's so many different angles of this track. It's often hard to capture on the camera, but I can tell you here in live commentary that there is so much little battles going on. You just almost saw that one in the mini box. Car came out of the pit lane and almost T-boned straight into a cart that was going fast.
Okay, now we've got a change of lead. Malcolm Hoyervoort takes over the lead from Jacob Fleming, who's just come into the pits, and he shoots down the leader order back to 5th place.
And we're hearing some cheering coming in from the audience. They're getting behind their drivers, so if you're out there in the audience, get a cheer on. We've only got 23 minutes left of this race.
I'll tell you, look, well, things have really changed around. Look at this. Malcolm Hoyervoort in car number 3 is your race leader. In car number 7, Curtis Smythe. Then go back to car number 14, Mandela Pluck. And we've got Tui Smiler. Now, I think this is about his, isn't this not his 4th stop?
I see the 3rd or 4th for Tui Smiler there, so obviously he'll have that little note on his dash as to how many he's done. But yeah, great job from Tui getting those pit stops early. See where he compares to Mandela Pluck. Obviously Tui's a little bit further back because I think he's done more pit stops than Mandela. Mandela's slightly going long in his pit strategy, so trying to basically rule Tui's strategy out of the equation.
Talking of Mandela, here comes Mandela Pluck for his 3rd pit stop, I think it is.
Well, this will give us a much more clearer idea of where Tui is compared to where Mandela is.
So he's pumping the throttle, he's all ready to go, he's going to give it the jandle. I see he's not taking on any liquids or anything.
No, probably the experience he's had in professional racing, taking on liquids probably not as important for a 45-minute race.
Oh, I don't know about that. I would say the opposite, actually. Okay, we've got a couple of carts in the pits at the moment. Cart number 7 on the outside. And cart number 7 was Curtis Smythe. He was running 3rd.
Yeah, Curtis had that early incident into turn 5, so don't really consider him a part of this race right now. That would have hurt him so much to the point where he's just basically out of contention for a win. But maybe he could fight hard and try to get to the podium.
Okay, great dice going on there between Charlie Keyworth. He's got Jacob Fleming all over the back of him like a rash.
Yeah, there's a lot of great little battles going on. Some of them are a bit hard to capture on this camera, but yeah, lots of good little battles and dices. But just a reminder, if you're watching the live streaming, not here at Ace Motorsport, the racing down here is even better in person, and good opportunity for next year's IORK to get in while you can.
Look at this, Fleming right around the outside of Charlie Keyworth, couldn't make it stick though, and Charlie showing his experience there. The lap for Jacob Fleming to try and do the switch back on him in turn 5. But there's no gap there, for he's had the door closed in on him. As we pick up your race leader. I'll tell you what, it's Christchurch 1-2 at the moment. Malcolm Hoyervoort, or Hoogie, out front in cart number 3. Into cart 21, Jacob Fleming, just slipping down to 3rd now, behind Donald O'Reilly. Phil Alsford now up to 3rd, a couple of pit stops, and Jacob Fleming once again in the pits for another one of his pit stops. So Malcolm Hoyervoort, your race leader, cart number 3 from cart number 9, cart 20, Donald O'Reilly, then back to cart number 11, Phil Alsford. And 4th place we have Curtis Smythe, cart number 7, but Mandela Pluck is now up to 4th place in cart number 14.
Yeah, it's been a great little battle so far. This is definitely all it was hyped up to be for this final race, because man, it's an epic one so far. These pit stops, they're long, man. I got used to those 3-second pit stops in the heat races. Coming into these finals, it feels like an eternity for me. Imagine how it must feel in the go-kart right now, how long it must feel when you see all your competitors blasting on by.
Yeah, certainly throws a cat among the pigeons.
Oh, it'd just be intense, right? You'd just be sitting there frustrated every second wanting to get going.
Well, cart number 3 is still your race leader. Hoogie out front, Malcolm Hoyervoort ahead of Phil Alsford, and Harry Wilcox, the Wellingtonian, sits there in 3rd place in cart number 4. Then go back to Mandela Pluck in cart number 14. Tui Smiler just behind the Hamiltonian Johnny Curtis back there in 6th and 7th.
and Mandela's in for another stop, so this is really going to show us where he comes out compared to Tui. There's a small gap between them, so this might be a battle for the lead. Tui's just gone past, so if this is a race for the lead, Tui is now getting every second on Mandela Pluck.
Yeah, well, Tui Smiler he's done a masterclass at the moment.
Oh, it looks like Tui's almost half a lap ahead of Mandela here.
But Malcolm Hugenboys, your race leader with a good lead. We'll see what that gap is shortly between himself and Phil Elsford.
We saw Tui win his semi-finals, so he did a fantastic job in the semi-finals. Mandela not so lucky, so maybe Tui just has the advantage in this battle.
I'll tell you what, back there in third and fourth, flying underneath the radar, you've got Mark Cook and the Hamiltonian Johnny Curtis. Tui Smiler back now up to fifth place, ahead of Jacob Fleming in sixth. Then we got Harry Wilcox in seventh, Donald O'Reilly back in eighth, Curtis Smythe in ninth, and Mandela Pluck back to 10th place.
Yeah, Charlie Keyworth down 11th with Mandela. That's pretty crazy considering Curtis's incident. That just shows how much they've been impacted by those pit stops. Oh, it's a great little battle here going on between Charlie, Mandela and Curtis.
I'll tell you what, we could have an upset winner here the way things are going. You never know.
I tell you what, it looks like Tui's almost close to, if that is Mandela that I'm seeing, it looks like Tui's pretty close to lapping him.
That's unbelievable. But then, what's the number of pit stops that both drivers have done?
Actually, having a look at this, Mandela's got, yeah, probably about half a lap on. It's about they're basically on the opposite end of the track of each other, so it's definitely a big gap between them, but as to whether that's advantage Tui or advantage Mandela.
Well, it only takes one driver to hold them up, and then it could be curtains for their chances.
Having a look at the time here, it looks like it's probably advantage Tui because he's currently sitting in fourth, while Mandela's down in ninth.
Yep, but it's still Malcolm Hugenboys, your race leader in kart number 3, ahead of Mark Crook, kart number 17. Then go back to third. This is kart number 10, Johnny Curtis, and kart number 12, Tui Smiler. Jacob Fleming sitting there in 5th position, Donald O'Reilly in 6th, Harry Wilcox 7th, Phil Elsford back in 8th. Then we see Mandela Pluck is now up to 8th place ahead of Curtis Smythe. Phil Elsford's dropped back to 10th. And we'll have a look and see how much time to go. 16 minutes to go, so we're almost 2/3 the way through this race.
Yeah, we're getting down to the time that the semi-finals were basically, so almost like a semi-final left in this race. Won't be long now before we're at a heap's worth of race, with only 8 minutes to go.
I'll tell you who's set the fastest lap so far. It is, are my eyes deceiving me? It is, at this stage, it looks like Tui Smiler, 27.61, Mark Cook at 27.74, and who we got there? We got Mandela Pluck at 27.72, and Curtis Smythe at 27.8.
Yeah, and Harry Wilcox doing a very fast and respectable 27.6, and a 27.5 from Johnny Curtis is incredible. So these guys are pushing. I remember saying a 27 means that the driver's pushing it hard, and it looks like Mandela's in front, just coming to the pits now, so he's got one more to go. This is going to be a huge advantage to Tui Smiler. I think Tui's still got one more pit to go then.
Are you sure? I think this might be his last one, actually.
Well, that's definitely Mandela's last one, so he's done 4. He's good for the rest of the race.
They definitely want to make sure they do the right number of pit stops, or otherwise it could be a DNQ.
Yeah, that was a big one in the 100 kg category, so I'm playing a factor in this one as well.
Well, that never eventuated, so we don't have to worry about that for that particular race. Okay, looking at the screens once again. Look at this, Tui Smiler up to 2nd place, just 5.8 seconds behind Malcolm Hugenboys. I'll tell you what, Malcolm Hugenboys is really going to have to put down the jandle if he's got any chance of beating Tui Smiler. Harry Wilcox sitting back there in 3rd place in kart number 4, and then we go back to kart 21, Jacob Fleming, and kart number 20, Donald O'Reilly.
judging by the gap between Tui and Mandela, considering how close they were at the beginning of this race, I'd have to assume that Tui has one more to go, just based on the gap between them, because if that is Tui's last stop, then he's pulled a masterclass. He's pulled an absolute upset, and he's going to win this by maybe even 30 seconds.
Well, Charlie Keyworth, definitely one of the big favourites in this one. He's back in 13th place overall, but look at the lap time, 28.1. Perhaps his go-kart is not the quickest one out there.
Yeah, I almost wonder how late Tui's going to leave this last pit stop if he does have one more to go. You wouldn't want to leave it too late, but maybe he's holding out for some rain. If there was some rain out there, that would mean it would be the perfect time to pit, so maybe he's just waiting on a Hail Mary just to eke out even a bit more of a lead.
I'll tell you what, Mandela Pluck's not that far away from lapping Charlie Keyworth. Really? You see Charlie Keyworth just in behind Jacob Fleming.
Charlie hasn't shown
Just a couple of car placing behind Charlie Keyworth. Behind Jacob Fleming. Jacob Fleming just getting past there. And that'll be Harry Wilcox. Not Harry Wilcox, Donald O'Reilly moving up. As we pick up your race leaders, it is Malcolm Hugenvoist, or Hoogie as he's known, sitting there in front ahead of Tui Smiler.
Yeah, Harry's doing a fantastic job in fast all weekend.
Well, that gap has come down from 5 seconds to 2 seconds. In fact, Tui Smiler has gone to the front, and the reason for that is because Hoogie has just come into the pits.
Yeah, he's coming to the pits, and that's means that Tui's well out in the lead. Again, it just keeps making me think Tui's still got one more pit to go.
You're doing good there, Malcolm. So Tui Smiler has taken over the lead now. And let's see how it's all panning out. Harry Wilcox in kart number 4, sitting there in second. Third place at the moment is kart 21, Jacob Fleming. Fourth place at the moment is kart number 7, Curtis Smythe. And fifth place is kart number 3, that is Malcolm Hugenvoist, who's just on his pit stop. Sixth place is kart number 17, Mark Crook. Then we move back to 7th place is kart number 10, Johnny Curtis. 8th place is Donald O'Reilly in kart 20. 9th place at the moment is kart number 14, Mandela Pluck. He's going to have to pluck something out of the bag. And in 10th place is kart number 11, Phil Elsford.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie Keyworth and Mandela Pluck so far down the grid, so far behind the time at Tui. I'm almost in awe. If this is Tui's real pace, this is shocking. It's a huge upset because he was never this, like, dominant in the heat.
I'll tell you what, Jacob Fleming has just come in the pits. I have a feeling this could be his last pit stop. So Tui Smiler, your race leader from Curtis Smythe. Mandela Pluck, back there in 8th, he's got a fair bit of work to do. A good lap time from Mandela, 27.72 is his quickest. But just a 10th of a second shy of Tui Smiler.
Tui Smiler, 20-second gap to Curtis Smythe. I mean, we saw Dan Canelli have a very strong 20-second lead by the end of his race and win his race. Another 20-second lead here for Tui is going to be just as impressive as Dan Canelli's win. There's a huge gap.
Right, so you pick up your race leader once again. It is kart number 12, Tui Smiler. Where's Tui on the track at the moment? Just trying to see him there. There he goes, just over the finish line, Tui Smiler. He's just a couple of kart lengths.
When you consider the fact that his nearest competition right now technically is Curtis Smythe, and Curtis Smythe is only 2 corners ahead of Charlie on the track. Charlie's about to lap second place. Tui's about to lap second place.
Well, I'll tell you what, Curtis Smythe may not have done as many pit stops as 1 or 2 of the other drivers. And look at that, flying underneath the radar at the moment, Johnny Curtis in kart number 10, back there in 3rd, the former champion showing his experience.
But more impressive, and just a few seconds that we've been talking about Tui's 20-second lead is now 23 seconds. So in a couple of seconds, Tui's eked out an extra 3 seconds, and his lap times are looking incredibly fast.
Well, he's certainly got a good kart by the looks of it.
We're going to spin up in the end. They look like maybe, my eyes might be deceiving me, Daniel Douglas, who got cart stuck in the wall down the back end, so unable to get out of that tyre wall. We're going to see yellow now.
Oh,
That's great for whoever's in the pits right now.
Oh, this could really upset the apple cart.
Kart 5 and kart 21 are just getting the biggest advantage right now because their entire pit stop's being limited by the fact that the yellows car are gone back on and it's back into racing.
Oh, look at this. We've got 4 karts coming across the finish line. And they're going at a hammer and tongs, and it looks like the guy that just came out of the pits, looks like kart number 10, is it? Has really joined this battle pack.
Yeah, and I think too he's really close to passing Curtis Smythe. If Tui does that, he'll be able to do it. If he does have another pit stop, he'll be able to pit and still come out of the lead comfortably.
Malcolm Hugenvoice in the pits at the moment.
To be honest, with 8 minutes to go, the lead that Tui has, whether he has a pit stop or not, is kind of irrelevant because he's so far in the lead. He's definitely winning this race, basically.
Well, Mandela Pluck sitting there in 5th place. He'll be looking to try and get up into their podium places at least. So just running through the order at the moment. It is Tui Smiler in first in kart number 12. Curtis Smythe in kart number 7, second place at the moment. Then we go back to kart number 4. Harry Wilcox in third.
There he is. So he did have a 4. Tui Smiler had a 4. This is, if he didn't come into this, he would get DQ'd. So Tui actually had a whole nother pit stop. Now, this is still fine for Tui because he had almost a whole lap lead. It's a 30-second lap around here, so Tui can do his pit stop and come out and be still in the lead.
There goes Mandela Pluck.
Mandela Pluck would have to pass him twice to get this back because he was 2 laps down. So Tui's coming out with an incredibly strong lead here.
Well, we will see as the computer cycles round.
Curtis Smythe is close in competitions, also coming to the pit, so there's almost no chance of Tui losing this now.
Oh, never say never.
With 7 minutes to go, I would bet my hair on it.
And there goes Mandela Pluck, so he'll be in the podium places now. Into 3rd place goes kart number 14, Mandela Pluck.
Yeah, it might not be a win for Mandela, but it's a great showing from him. He's done a fantastic job.
Well, just looking at the clock now, we've just got 6 minutes, 40 seconds still to go. And there's still a number of drivers on the same lap. But a big lead at the moment to Tui Smiler of 17 seconds. And just looking back to Mandela Pluck, he's 22 seconds behind our race leader, Tui Smiler.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Harry Wilcox might have another pit stop to do, so probably realistically the real gap in the next 6 minutes is a 20-second gap that Mandela Pluck is going to have to gain on Tui Smiler.
And behind the top 3 we've got Curtis Smythe in 4th position, ahead of Johnny Curtis, Mark Crook. We've got Hoogie in 7th, then go back to Jonathan Camp. He's appeared from nowhere. And Charlie Keyworth and Jacob Fleming.
We're going to spin at the end of turn 5, so that's a precarious place to have a car. It's Fleming, apparently. So.
Oh, is it Jacob Fleming? Oh no, things have turned to custard for these 2 top drivers.
Yeah, Charlie's throwing up his hands in the air. That was horrible for Charlie Keyworth and Jonathan Fleming.
Oh, this could completely change the complexion of the race.
I think the only thing it doesn't change is Tui Smiler's position is still incredibly good. A red flag right now would be disastrous for Tui, but that's basically the only thing that could rain on his parade. Speaking of rain, I feel a little bit of moisture in the air. 5 minutes to go now.
Well, just looking to see where Mandela Pluck is, and he's only in 4th place at the moment, but that gap will have closed down, so this is going to be interesting over the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, the yellow seems to bunch everyone together, but it's a bit of a gaggle of cars coming together, but Tui's got a whole lap lead on everyone.
And have a look at this, the top 6 karts are all in the 27-second brackets.
Yeah, for their fastest lap times, obviously the last lap was a yellow, so a little bit slower from them, but tell you who did do a fast last lap, Tui Smiler with a 27.9. He's been consistently in the 27s this whole race. It's probably the secret to success. If we were to analyse why Tui did so well here, it was because he was hitting 27s almost every single lap. So, fantastic kart, fantastic driver, and the secret to success, we've said it all weekend, consistency for Tui Smiler. That's why he's been so dominant now.
Well, Tui Smiler, he must be nearly a lap ahead by the looks of it than Mandela Pluck, because he's just coming up to a bunch of karts at the moment.
Speaking of, you're going to get a pun here, I bet Tui Smiler will be smiling at the end of this race.
Right, okay, so Tui Smiler, your race leader, kart number 12. Then we go back to kart 4, Harry Wilcox, Mandela Pluck in the third position. So 24 seconds behind is Harry Wilcox, but now Mandela Pluck is just 2 seconds behind Harry Wilcox. Johnny Curtis is there in fourth, ahead of Mark Cook in fifth, and Jonathan Camp flying underneath the radar once again in sixth position.
Yeah, I think we're a matter of minutes away from rain at this point. This is feeling very precarious Auckland weather right now.
Tell you what, look at Curtis Smythe. He's really got his head down, but he's a lap down on some of the front runners.
Yeah, he had a horrible start to the race, so good to see a recovery. Quite funny, they've been holding the 5 minute sign now for almost 2 minutes, so we're actually down to 3 minutes now. The 5 minute sign's just come off.
Okay, we'll pick up your race leader, Tui Smiler, with only 3 minutes to go. He's almost a lap ahead of Mandela Pluck in third place, so he's lapped the whole field just about. Only 3 karts on the same lap.
I have to say, what an impressive race this is from Tui. Tui must have been sandbagging throughout the entire heats and semi-finals, because at no point was he lapping his competition. He gets into the finals, the hardest race, supposedly the race where you have the best drivers and everyone's the most wanting to work, and you think Tui's biggest competition is here, and it seems to be almost his easiest race. This has definitely been his most confident race.
Now, Harry, isn't he from Wellington? Harry Wilcox? I think we're going to, looks like we may have a Wellington 1-2 at the moment. Christchurch 3 and Hamilton 4.
Yeah, lots of different regions making up this race, and it's part of the thrill of this IORK Championship. Looking forward to next year where we've got even more regions involved and trying to get as many people into the series as possible. But the marshals are putting on their rain jackets, so I think that's your sign. Rain is coming any second.
Oh, anything can happen if the rain comes down. But Tui Smiler, your race leader in kart number 12, Harry Wilcox sits there in second, but it's only around about 2 seconds back to Mandela Pluck in third. Johnny Curtis is 2 laps down now.
I tell you what, if I was Tui Smiler or his team, I'd be doing a rain dance right now, because the rain dance would bring out a yellow while they bring out the chicane, and that basically would all but guarantee Tui's win. 27.4, Tui just is his fastest lap of the race right now. He's getting even faster. This man is impressive right now. This is one hell of a race from Tui Smiler. Oh, and no, again.
Oh, that's Jacob Fleming.
Again in the same spot that he spun earlier. Jonathan Fleming in the same spot. That's going to bring out the yellows. It's going to be a minute to go.
This will most certainly hand this race now to Tui Smiler. Not that he wasn't going to win anyway. Harry Wilcox at this stage in second place. It won't be long before we see the checkered flag. They must be on just about on their penultimate lap.
48 seconds to go by the time the yellows come out. The point right now, the gap between Tui and Harry Wilcox or Mandela Pluck is bigger than almost the time we have left in this session. I'd call it here. Tui's won this.
Well, checkered flag hasn't come out this time, so it will be out next time, I imagine.
Yeah, it's the last lap now, so Tui's just got to get around the track. All he has to do is just cross that line. He doesn't have to worry about anything else. Harry Wilcox fighting in for second. This is going to be a good battle for him because Mandela Pluck is coming up close behind him. Mandela's a little bit faster in the last lap, but Harry Wilcox is able to hold him up because there's only 8 seconds to go. Here comes the checkered flag.
And here he comes. Card number 12. Tui Smiler, have a smile from ear to ear. Second place will go to Harry Wilcox in car number 4. Mandela Pluck in car number 14. Johnny Curtis back there in 4th place. In fact, Mark Crook looks like he's just passed Johnny Curtis in 4th. Then we go back to Jonathan Camp in 6th place. Curtis Smythe in 7th. Donald O'Reilly in 8th. Hoogie slipped down to 9th. And then we had Brett Hodgins there in 10th.
And at the beginning of this race, we talked about it. Would it be Canterbury? Would it be Wellington to take it out? We didn't know who the battle was going to be. And at the beginning of it,
you were telling me it was going to be Auckland, mate. That was a great race, and who cares where they come from? It's a fantastic performance from Tui Smiler. And he will be a very popular winner, Tui. Left nothing on the table. Oh, look at that. He's just given a hand, everybody. Give it up for Tui Smiler, your New Zealand champion. Oh, it's a good race, eh? No, you didn't get third. No. Got about, I think about 6, I'll tell you. Yeah, 6. It's good run. Oh, we'll wait for him to come round, Tui Smiler. And there's good sportsmanship there. Big handshake from Mandela Pluck. Those two are great rivals. Okay, we'll just get Tui Smiler over here. And look at that. Just being congratulated by our first New Zealand champion today, Dan Canali. That's a 1-2. Okay, here we go. Tui Smiler, you must have a smile from ear to ear. That was a fantastic drive. You had something left in the tank that no one was expecting. We were expecting to go between you and Mandela, but you just drove away from the field.
It was pretty quick car, pretty quick track, so I'm happy. I thought I was in second because I was behind him at the end, but no, it was pretty fun, pretty good.
Well, I'll tell you what, you said it was a pretty quick car, you said it was a pretty quick track, but you're a pretty quick driver too.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Congratulations once again, awesome performance. Give it up for Tui Smiler. Good drive also there from the other podium finishers, Harry Wilcox in second and Mandela Pluck in third. Back in fourth place was Johnny Curtis, fifth place to Mark Crook. Fastest lap there from Tui Smiler, a 27.45, Harry Wilcox a 27.59, and Mandela Pluck a 27.7. So back in fifth place we had Mark Crook, sixth place was Jonathan Camp, seventh to Curtis Smythe, Donald O'Reilly back in eighth place. So this will be the 18 and under final. Over 45 minutes, 4 pit stops once again. Well, some fantastic action in that 70 to 85 kg final. And there we go, the score really is for the big finals. We'll say 1 to Canterbury, 1 to Wellington. Who's going to win this one? Who knows? We're just waiting for the screen to flick over. Okay, this is going to be a real nail biter for the under 18. Sorry, the under... Oh yes, I am right. 18 years and under class. And Eggman Gill in cart number 20 will start from grid 1. Grid 2 will be cart number 9, Hayley Cabell. Grid 3 is cart number 12, Ashton Peck. Grid 4 is car number 10, Maloney. Grid 5 is car number 3, Leonara Mogan. Grid 6 is car number 16, Asher Freeman. Grid 7, Nelson's Lucas Pertry in car number 18. Grid 8 is car number 8, Josiah Armstrong. Grid 9 is car number 17, Ollis Newman. Grid 10 is cart number 21, one to watch, cart number 10, Mark Fosbar. Grid 11 is cart number 11, Jaden Malmont. Grid 12 is cart number 13, Peyton Freeman. Grid 13, another Nelsonian, cart number 7, Levi Cabell. Grid 14 is Auckland's cart number 14, Danielle Peck. Grid 15, definitely the pace setter in this class, cart number 4, Tarek. Grid 16, backseat of the bus, is cart number 5, George De Lewin. So a very strong class this one, and I think you'll find it's a good chance for the other regions to strike back. Nelson, particularly strong represented in this class, also Auckland. So cheer out for your favourite driver in this one. I'm sure these drivers will leave nothing on the table. Okay, we're away and racing. Oh, we've got an issue. I think we're going to have a red flag here. Okay, it's going to be a red flag. So we'll just see what actually happens here. Yes, it's going to be a restart, a complete restart. It's the calm before the storm. Looks like that weather might come in shortly.
Yeah, so to confirm, we do have a full restart here. We have a car dead on the line, so we'll just wait for the marshals to get them back round to the grid, and a full restart for these youngsters. Now, throughout this competition, the youngsters have all had a bit of a hard done by through the heats. They've had an oil down they had to deal with, so these under 18s are really getting put through their paces for future events.
Well, let's hope the sky doesn't open.
Well, you know, it's starting to, there's light drips out there. It doesn't look like any heavy cloud, but it would be interesting to get a bit of weather involved in this one and really test these youngsters.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tarek would have to start favourite, and Tarek has got a lot of work to do from almost the back of the field.
Yeah. Well, we know we can race, we know we can move with the best, so I've got all the faith in the local boy Tarek for this race here, so he's got, definitely keep your eye on him.
Could be a good chance for Auckland to strike back here. Of course, you've got Canterbury with one, Wellington with one. Could be Auckland turn this time.
Yeah,
or even Nelson.
Or even Nelson, yes. Nelson have got some the Cavill brother and sister duo out there, so hopefully they can work together and move up the pace. Levi with extraordinary pace through the heat racing. Haley not too far behind him, but there's probably about a 20 kilo difference between brother and sister there.
Well, it's going to be the battle of the pocket rockets.
That's right. We've also got another bunch of siblings out there as well with the pets. And it looks like we're off with the green flag again. Everyone is off the line. Oh. Here we go, round into turn one. Looks a bit of space between them. Everyone allowing a bit of racing room, which is good to see.
Oh, they're better behaved than the adults at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, here they go into the back straight now, coming around the back corner, jostling for position. Everyone's giving each other room, which is really good to see. They've spread out quite nicely within this first lap.
Well, I'll tell you, the first couple of drivers there, no slugs. Agman Gill will race leader ahead with Ashton Peck. Then go back to, looks like Leonardo Morgan has moved through into second place in car number 9. A few of the pit stops happening right now. Car number 21 isn't even on our leaderboard there.
No, our leaderboard's a little bit slow at the moment. 3 cars now have completed their pit stops. I'll bring up the live stream here on my phone here.
Well, cart number 14 still in the pits there. Who's cart number 14? She's not on the leaderboard.
Car number 14 is Danielle Peck.
Oh, well, that's a great shame. She had some great form leading up to this final.
Well, our leader out in front is still Agman Gill in cart number 20. Everyone opting to pit early. We've had about 8 carts so far come through.
Yeah, I mean, these kids, they're showing a lot of talent throughout this weekend, right? We've seen Levi Campbell so far at the back and Ashton Peck at the back, but they've been absolutely performing this all weekend long. So a really good job from them all weekend long. But the winner of this one, obviously it's a long session for these kids, was to what they can do. All right, Agman Gill off to the lead, Leonora Morgan. We saw her name consistently up at the top, but she was never able to really convert it into a win. Ashton Freeman doing a really good job, and Otis Newman, he's got a couple of fourths. Is he a secret assassin in this title? We'll find out later. Tariq quite far back for someone who was capable of getting onto the podium in the right time. Ashton Peck and Haley Cavill making their way through the grid as well, so good showing from all of them. This category has a lot of fast drivers, has a lot of skill and talent in it, and a lot of potential. The big thing here at Ace Motorsport and with IORK in general is developing youth and developing adults and getting them into the motorsport. having an ability to progress up and develop the skill early on, and this category is probably one of the most important that we have all weekend long, really. Tariq just in the pits now, so these pit stops are a big factor in these races. Agman Gill still confidently out in the lead, but assuming that he's still got pit stops to go, because this gap back, we can see that Jaden Marmont is a lap down, so on lap 6 when you run above them as a lap 7, I would suggest that's where the pit lane difference is starting to come into effect. This development category has been a very, very fast one. It's also quite a light category as well, right? We're not seeing a lot of heavy under 18-year-olds. Not a lot of people that are 100 kgs, but you know who is over 100 kgs? My fellow commentator, who is just devil-eyeing me right now.
Enough of the fat jokes, man. Like 3 days of it. Alright, so as we have a good little battle going on between Josiah and Malachi. And I was noticing just before Peyton Freeman, the super cool 33 on her helmet, is chasing down Levi. Now we're going to pick them up on track. Coming down the back straight, is that them? More
yeah,
people
Levi's
need to have bright coloured helmets.
Levi, you can kind of tell because he's just so little that he's barely taller than the steering wheel. So Levi's out there. I can tell he's also, I think he's got his sister's sweatpants on as well. Probably got a little bit cold, and I don't think he had his jammies with him. Agman Gill, a local here in Auckland, one that typically has a lot of fights in racing with Tariq, and yeah, quite successful. Haven't seen him do so well in the heat races. Always had the potential and the speed there. Levi's just come into the pits as well, by the way. Never had the greatest results so far at IORK, but hoping to turn around in the finals, because it doesn't matter how you perform in the heats, right? It's all about how you perform today on the finals.
Well, the final result obviously comes in your finishing position from the feature race. But to get there, your accumulation of the points from the heat races determines your order going into the picking of your kart or your grid position. So there's a lot of personal preference between what kart people are racing, and then if you would prefer to take an early grid position, you get that opportunity based on how many points you collected during the heats.
Yeah, talking to Tui at the end of his race, I asked, what the heck, man, were you just sandbagging in all of your heats? Because you never were lapping people in the heats or the semi-finals. And he said to me, you know what, throughout the semi-finals and the heats, I just never got a good kart. And I finally got a good kart, and that was all I needed to just show my potential. And he just walked away, and I still believe, to a little extent, that he was probably sandbagging in those heats, trying not to show his ultimate pace, because, man, it was super impressive of a race.
Well, that was definitely a bold and slightly risky strategy, but we've still got Asher Freeman in the lead according to our timing system, and behind that is kart number 3 of Lenora Morgan, and then Hayley Cavill, and then number 9 kart. In the pits right now, we've got karts 8 and 12. That is Josiah and, oh, that just jumped off my screen.
And of course, fatigue's starting to set in, right? The younger you are, the more that you're going to get fatigued by these things. It's been 3 days. I can tell you myself, not even racing, I'm exhausted, right? It's been long days, it's been back-to-back, and it's been high intensity and high energy. Is fatigue starting to settle in? I mean, you just had your race earlier today. What's the mental level and what's the physical level of fatigue setting in?
So they're quite a long race, and you want to try and pace yourself, but even when you're watching like Bathurst on TV and they keep going on every year, oh, it's like a 6-hour sprint race. If you get out there and you know, okay, I've got a 45-minute race, I can't exhaust myself too soon. But then as soon as you've got a go-kart in front of you, man, it is on. But these kids will be noticing that their arms are feeling like they're falling off. They've got concrete weights on their shoulders, and just the sheer muscle memory of having to get around this track is what's going to keep them going. And there's going to be a bit of brain fog setting in.
Yeah, the weather definitely taking a turn right now. We've noticed little spits and gravels out there. It's presenting itself every second as a moment, but the thing about Auckland weather is it's so unpredictable because there's just enough clear sky coming through that it's like I don't think it's going to rain, but it very well could rain, you know?
Just coming out of turn 10, turn 3, there's a little four-way battle pack going in the top 10. So we've got Lucas, Levi, Ashton and Malachi coming down that back straight there, and there's been no holds barred. There's been a little bit of door banging going on, and there's a bit of pace differential between some of those cars. So notice them going into 2 and 3 now. Some of them will pull away a lot quicker, but then those gaps will get closed up all the way straight. Oh, that was
a lot of bumping, eh?
There was some hand flying there.
Yeah, there was a lot of bumping, and turn 5 is really where you maximise that speed. Getting that good exit out of turn 5 sets you up for the rest of the lap to have a really good opportunity. So a really important area to get it right, and the bumping is obviously going to affect setting up that corner.
Absolutely. So Asher is not very pleased about that, shaking that helmet from left to right very exaggeratedly. So he got bumped into, and what happened is he lost all of his momentum in the sweeper. And so coming onto the back straight, Lenora was almost able to go around the outside.
Yeah, and his personality starting to show through as the emotions get more intense towards this final. Such an accumulation of the energy. It's the thing that I like about IORK is that it's a process, right? You go through the heats, you go through the semis, you go through the finals. That championship-like build-up just adds to the importance of a race like this. It feels a lot more than just turning up to a normal go-karting session and just trying to have fun. It feels like a competition, like it is.
So here in pits, we've got Asher pitting from first, and Tariq been pitting from his mid-pack, coming out right behind him. So this is going to create some really good racing. Both of these drivers are very on par in terms of ability and weight. So you're not going to see too much difference in a straight line. It's just how they're going to get it out of that corner. So there are a few spots different on the leaderboard here. As we see kart number 13 of Peyton Freeman come into the pit. Now Peyton had a big accident yesterday. Do you recall that, Ash?
Yeah, I do. I actually saw her come into the pit stops holding her wrist. She was shaking it. It seemed like it hurt a lot. It's great to see her back out today. So a really great job for her because yeah, that could have been quite a nasty one. Obviously, we want everyone to walk away from this competition safe and well. But yeah, it was quite nasty. I don't quite recall what the incident was. I think it was T-boning that caused that.
Yeah, I think she got slightly out of shape on one of the corners, got a big T-bone in the side. I talked to her mum yesterday about the accident, and she's got a lot of sore ribs and lower back, so nothing too serious, but just that pain. So if you're out there for 45 minutes leaning into that seat, you're going to have that constant pressure, and that is going to be a distraction. So she's going to have to really focus on the corners, hit them, keep her lines, try and not fall back in the pack as she's currently sitting in 13th position.
Speaking of ribs, I've seen some of the pro karters having a bit of kit where they've got those rib protectors on, and obviously that's helping them a lot. Did you race with a rib protector in your sessions?
I've got a rib protector built in actually as part of my training to get up to the 100 kilo class, so it's quite a snug fit for me, so she's all good.
Yeah, and of course the seats, that's an interesting point you bring up about the seats, because here they're not adjustable, they're not made for you. So for these kids, they're actually really big, and then for someone like you, you're saying it was a little bit of a tighter squeeze.
No, it's true, but so the other advantage that we had is when you're going into a corner in these karts, you're actually wanting to lean out of the corner to get your body weight to the outside of the corner, and it helps the kart to turn in. So obviously you've got a bit more ballast, like us fully grown adults. It does make those karts turn in sharper, and we try to use that to offset the lack of acceleration.
Yeah, well, for myself, if I was actually going to enter in the category, 100 kgs probably would actually be the one I'd be pretty close to, because I sit around 95. With a helmet, I'd probably be around 96, 97, so with a little bit of a weight vest, I'd get close into that category. And I think it's important because compared to me and you, I move around a lot in those cars, especially on that final corner. The G-forces that I get going at that high speed throws me into the corner, and I get really sore, I get jolted around, and so in a 45-minute session, I would probably give up. I mean, that's especially why I didn't enter into IORK, just because of, I know physically it would be very exhausted for me.
And we just see Lucas exiting the pits now, kart number 18. So he is quite a tall driver, and you'll be noticing out on track, being a lighter frame, there's a lot of bouncing going around in the corners,
see the 3-pack coming into turn 1 now.
Well, that was very
It was
tight.
an aggressive undertaking there.
Levi just throwing it in there,
Taking the
and then
gas.
taking another attack as well, so just diving in. Levi's got such ability to change direction so much faster than the other drivers because of his weight. He only weighs about 35 kgs, so an incredibly light competitor.
We need to bring in minimum weights for categories. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, obviously this one being an age-based category, so the benefit of being younger means that he's lighter, but the downside is he's a little bit less mature than some of the other drivers out there who are just sitting around that 18-year-old mark.
Well, I was actually thinking about remits for next year, because I noticed there was a few drivers in the 100 kg over category wearing weight belts to get up to the 100 kilos. I was like, well, that's fine, but you should have to wear that weight belt all weekend long. You know how tiring it is to be fat.
I could get behind that rule.
Yeah. It's all about equality. And you see Levi leading that little pack into turn number 1 again. He moves around a lot in that seat because, as you say, the seats aren't custom made for the drivers. You just take what you get. But gosh, he's closing the gap on that yellow helmeted car.
Obviously being so small, that's going to be an impact on Levi. And actually, fun little fact, I was talking to him earlier tonight, and he was saying that in one of his races, he accidentally hit someone because the brake pedal, he's so short that the brake pedal has a little extender for when you're vertically challenged. And it flipped down, you couldn't press the brake pedal. So there's so many factors that play into this. We've got tall drivers, we've got short drivers, we've got light drivers, we've got older drivers. It's a very mixed category.
And probably one of the older categories in the other under 18 here is number 8, Josiah Armstrong. So he's just completing his pit stop. And next to him is Argument Gill in cart number 20.
Yeah, and Josiah's got a very snazzy kit for those. If you're looking on the monitors, look out for the fluoro green and white overalls with the Red Bull helmet, because that's a very distinctive look. I'm much a fan of when a driver's wearing a standout. Obviously, your duck helmet being one of those. Curtis Spice pink, purple hoodie just makes it so much easier to notice you on the track.
I was talking to Curtis Smythe earlier about his pink hoodie. I said, mate, that makes you very distinctive. And he says it makes him a better driver because people know who to blame if they look behind and they see the bright pink hoodie or purple.
Yeah, a blessing and a curse to stand out on the track. You know who you've got to pass, but you also know who to blame.
So this field's fairly spread out now with a couple little clusters. That fast cluster coming onto the straight, just like standing still, gone around on the Tariq.
And of course, this is probably the fastest class of the event because we're seeing some of the lightest weights in this category. So the speeds are getting up there for this one.
There's a lot of 27-second lap times on the boards here. We've still got 29 minutes to go in this race. So we're about 2/3 of the way through. So now it'd be interesting to see how many people are going to have pit stops still to go, or have they got them out of the way early.
I think also another interesting one is how many laps are we going to see over this entire race, because it's time-based. It'd be interesting to compare how many laps are done in this versus how many laps are done over in the 100 kg and in the 75, I think it was also run. So it'd be very, very interesting.
Yep, and of course, as we keep alluding to, that can all change as soon as we get some moisture from the sky. So
yeah, fun fact, that's why Nick said that we changed the IORK system from running laps over to running in time-based, was because in the wet races, the races were just taking too long because the lap times dropped down. And Tariq in for his next pit stop. Again, a long pit stop for Tariq. A little bit further back into the pack, so he's currently sitting around 7, probably going to drop a few more positions. Otis Newman, I've got to keep shouting out this kid because barely showed up to this event, very little experience, consistently in that top 4 with all these national young kids that are competing in this category, and again here in the final, sitting in the top 4, Otis doing a fantastic job.
Now we've just seen Tariq do another pit stop as well as Peyton, so they're definitely crossing them off the list.
Yeah, a handy little feature that was a bit different for your final versus this final is that they brought back the system where they had a bit of tape on the wheel, and our wonderful marshals here marking on the tape how many pit stops they've done to help the drivers understand how many pits they have to avoid DQs later onwards. Would you have liked them your session?
Absolutely. We remember we had that system at one of the Nelson IORKs, and that would have been fantastic for me because I actually did one too many pit stops in my race.
So how many was that?
I did 5 instead of 4.
So you can't
that
count.
definitely cost me a position. So yeah, I don't know why they discriminated against the heavy people and not having that on the steering wheels, but I'll definitely bring that up with Nick later.
I did find it funny because I was trying to give you a little hint in commentary by saying, just as soon as I saw you come to pit lane, I was like, oh no, you've got 5. Someone tried to convince me that you were giving a penalty and that's why you were coming in with a black flag, but I was confident by the way you were shaking your head and beating yourself up that it was definitely just a calculated mistake. So good to get that one rectified for the stream. Just want to make sure everyone's aware he did not get a penalty. He was not a bad boy. Just made a mistake.
Yeah, you can't hear a thing with a helmet on out there, mate. As we have Hayley Cavill getting one of her pit stops out of the way. Quick bit of water, and then we're going to be away again.
Yeah, and Hayley and her brother Levi are both racing in this race, right?
Yep, absolutely. And another double up here. We've got Ashton Peck in kart 12, and leading that pack coming out of 2 and 3. And right on his tail is Levi. So they're chasing each other like chasing things.
Cats and dogs. But
Cats and dogs, that's what I was going.
I asked them earlier if any family strategies were going to come into play. What can you do if you do want to be helping each other out there?
It's probably
within the rules.
just dog eat dog, I would say. And,
all for themselves and whoever wins the mother's affection.
I would say this would be not to disadvantage your fellow driver. Yeah, don't get in anybody's way.
Just if you're slow, just get out of the way.
Get out of the way, yeah.
That's probably pretty handy and a very small advantage in a race like that. It can make a difference. In lap traffic, we've seen it throughout this entire racing series really impacting us. Obviously, I don't know if you were aware of this, but at one point in your heat, you were actually doing quite strong and you were up in, I think, into the top 3, and it was only when you got caught into lap traffic you really started to suffer.
Thanks.
No, but like...
Anyway, back to the race in front of us.
Not to dredge up old history.
Yeah.
Already old history.
That's alright, I would have faded and got tired anyway. So look at this, so Levi has just made a mean move on Ashton. Around turn 1, made it
so
slick.
brother takes the other brother, and it's a right back.
It's a cutback.
Into another cutback again.
I'm so envious of those ability to accelerate through corners.
Back and forth, jive and jab. Wow, Levi seems to have got a little bit more of a commanding lead, but we've got another one coming into attack. That's car 20 and car 10 coming into turn 1. Try and follow them into the next corner on the cameras. It's a fantastic little battle here, and we're just almost at the halfway mark of this race with 24 minutes left on the clock. You can see how long it is from out here. I can imagine how long it is in there.
It's a long, long race. And when you're out there in the moment, you don't actually have much concept of time. So hopefully you've got a spotter on the wall, giving you a wave, letting you know roughly how long you've got to go. The marshals will show a 10-minute board, but by that stage, if you've not been on your pit stop game, you've got too many you have to complete in a short space of time, so you will sacrifice track position. Oh, going into 2 and 3, what's going on there?
A tight little battle, and the marshals do also show a 20-minute and a 5-minute sign as well, but obviously it's a bit hard to pay attention to all that stuff when you're racing. A lot going on through your mind, right? And speaking of time, how, compared to the heats, compared to the semi-finals, the pit stop is really long this time, right?
So it's 15 seconds instead of like the 3. Something I found quite confusing was that the little lights on the blue stand still went off, and so I instinctively put my foot on the gas, but then I had to wait another few seconds before we could leave.
Yeah, that would
see Tariq making moves. I think it was on Josiah Armstrong, and there's a 2-lap difference between those karts. So Tariq is lapping people quite consistently, making his way back up. Currently in 7th position. I'm pretty confident he'll be on for a podium.
Yeah, Tariq's a pretty fast peddler, but more importantly, he's really good at passing opportunities around this track, really good at his head checks, and a phenomenal racer. And I think Tariq maybe not doing so strong in the heat races where it was a shorter race, but Tariq's already done a few endurance events here at Ace Motorsports and was basically a very dominant player even against the adults. So I think that Tariq's probably coming a bit more into his element in these longer sessions. Good chance for him in the finals because he's able to keep that energy going maybe where the other drivers are fatiguing off.
Yeah, the joys of youth.
Skill and strategy coming through. Oh, that was a hit on kart 6, which is not active in our race right now, but currently in the pit lane, so that wouldn't have been caught on the camera, but that would have slowed down that driver.
And speaking of hits, I do notice coming into turn 1, quite often there's a bit of front to back contact as rear drivers carry more speed into that turn 1, and the driver in front has got to check up a little bit sooner to make it around, getting a bit of a nudge, which can unsettle them. As Levi goes for the inside dive,
and that causes car 21 to lose his rear and slide out, carrying too much speed into the corner and just not able to take the approach that he was wanting to with Levi there on his inside.
And Ashton has the advantage on that as well because car 21, which was Max Vosper, did a valiant job of keeping it clean, lost that momentum coming out of turn 3, and so that did allow Ashton to get by him, I believe.
Yeah, good little race from them, and who's coming through the pack? Who right now is our advantage? With the last race, it was really easy to tell. Tui Smiler was away with it. Even in the previous session before that with Dan, it was again miles ahead with a 20-second lead. Who here is showing as the strong favourite? Is it hard? Still hard to tell.
It is still quite early, and really only at the halfway mark, because as the pit stop cycles through, we will see some dramatic position changes. So we're not sure how many of the top 10 still have one or more pit stops left to go. And I think, judging by the view of the racing out there, every race, every position counts as people are getting shuffled.
Tariq just doing a fantastic pass there on the back. That was a great little undercut and just giving him the strength into the straights. And I have to say, I think this has been the most competitive of all the final races of the weekend, because this one right now, even I, having watched the other races, I can't pick out even a top 3 at this point.
Yeah, I did enjoy watching the last heat with Tui Smiler and Johnny Curtis and Curtis Smythe. Those 3 different drivers had their own little battle packs going for the majority of the race, and it was really firm but really fair racing. So that was quite exciting when the pit stops filtered out and they were all very close to each other in the closing laps. I think Haley Cavill will be one to watch in the closing stages here, as I just heard Tariq smacking some bumpers into one.
Yeah, he's really close onto that other kart there, which can't quite see from this far away in the dark light. But yeah, he's getting an opportunity, and I think he's just already made that pass. So good job from him cutting through the pack and really getting back up onto that good. And now he's going to focus up and try and tackle Otis Newman, who was just ahead of him. Some pit stops still to play a role in this race, but slicing and dicing your way through the grid, these young guys are moving up the pack and moving back down the pack as well as the race goes on. And it's really causing a mix-up in the grid. What I am noticing is this race is a lot cleaner than the last race. The last race with the adults was a lot more argy-bargy, a lot more intense, and a lot more on the line. These guys really well behaved right now. I'm not seeing too much speeding in the pit lane. I'm not seeing too much chaos going on. There's a little bit of bump and touch, but it's quite a respectful amount.
Yeah, these drivers still need to be aware that the technical rule is no contact. And so if the track marshals and the video referees are observing contact, they're going to be making a note of that, and that could result in penalty points. And so there is a potential there if you accumulate too many penalty points.
So we've got an opportunity here to make 1 or 2, maybe even 3 places. Gets a little bump on the outside, and that upsets him coming into the corner of turn 1. Is he going to try and undercut here? He's got low roller speed on his fellow competitors. He's going to try and dive in. No, he goes out wide. Holding on to the rear end of them. Tariq is not letting him go. I think while Tariq might not be the star of the show in terms of taking away the race wins, he's certainly giving us the most entertainment by just cutting through people left and right.
And we've just had Lucas Petrie and Danielle Peck come back side by side for like 2 or 3 laps in a row. They're really battling evenly through what this section we can see in front of us. They go back out onto the sweeper, and then again coming onto the back straight. They're going to go back side by side, so a little bit more speed there, I think, and is that Danielle's car? number 14.
I'll tell you right now, Tariq's fighting like crazy. He's ducking left, he's ducking right, he's trying every side that he can get. He's trying the inside, the outside, he's doing everything he can to get past him. But it looks like a car of 17, can you tell me who that is IORK doing a fantastic job of holding up Tariq right now. Defending like crazy.
Otis Newman in that 17 is holding on for dear life because he is for position. And if he gets past, it's going to be pretty hard to chase him down.
And when you consider the experience difference, considering how many laps Tariq's done around this track versus how many laps Otis has done, you have to say, for the lap record holder right now, and Otis is holding him off, Otis is doing a fantastic job.
Well, we commented earlier that there's a difference between having a fantastic qualifying race, qualifying time, compared to actually racing in traffic. And not saying it's either way, but it is interesting to see how a lot of guys who maybe aren't at the top end of the leaderboard in terms of a single flying lap can really hold their own in a racing format, as we see Tariq gets down the inside of Otis Newman and makes the pass sit cleanly.
Yeah, the last 3 laps he tried the outside line in that corner and tried it once, tried it twice. Otis said, never going to happen. So Tariq said, fine, I'll do it myself. I'll go on the inside this time. Tariq doing a fantastic job. I talked to Otis throughout the weekend. I asked him, what kind of motorsport experience do you have? Because right now you're putting up a phenomenal show. And Otis said, I mostly just do sim racing. So a lot of this experience coming from the sims, but it just shows that the new technology of the day, Max Verstappen, a very big fond person of sim racing, showing that this young talent, you can develop a lot of skill from sim racing, show up to a track like this and prove that you don't need to spend thousands of dollars. Obviously, nothing replaces real life experience like this, the thrill, the adrenaline that goes through an experience like this, but clearly developing a lot of skills in those sims.
Now we've got some battle packs going on and there's people racing out of position. So what has happened is as the faster drivers have come through, they've caught up with traffic that may be out of sequence to their pit strategy. They're really holding their own because even though these other cars might be near the bottom of the running order, they're still there to race and they're still entitled to hold their position. So they're not required to move out of the way. If they race their race, hold their line cleanly, it is up to the, shall we say, faster drivers to find their way around. So
yeah, wow. It's basically half the grid right now involved in this battle pack. It feels like the whole track split out and separated out, and now everyone's in this line. We can see that Levi towards the back of that pack right now. So Levi in a fight for a win here and getting stuck in this lap traffic. Not a great time for him. Hopefully he can dice through them as quickly as possible. I see Tariq's just a little bit behind Levi right now, trying to catch his way up to him. Currently Levi is in 3rd and Tariq is in 4th. Seems like Otis Newman has taken his pits now and fallen back down to 8th, so got out of Tariq's way.
So we've got cars side by side out there that are separated by a lap or even up to 2. So the running order, as you see in those battle packs, 2 laps is quite the distance. Now the pit stops are, I would say, approximately 30 seconds by the time you enter, wait 15 seconds and leave. You're basically going to be losing a whole lap when these young guys are doing 27-second laps.
Yeah, very interesting session going on, and Portmore going there. Run us through the current grid for us, and the current race results of where everyone is right now.
So just back to the actual race order, we've got Asher Freeman in first, and Ashton Peck, Levi Cavill, and Tariq. They are our top 4. And now in the pits we've got kart number 3, which is Lenora, who was in 5th position. So she'll be crossing off another one of her pit stops. So that puts Agman Gill up to 5th position, Jaden Marmot into 6th, Otis Newman into 7th, Max Vosper currently 8th.
Yeah, and apologies for the technical issues on the stream right now, just getting that one fixed, but we've got still a great camera to watch on for this live action into turn 1, the fastest corner of the entire race right now. Deep braking's on.
You do carry so much speed out of 9 and then into that sharp 1 first corner there. It's great to see there's been no major carnage. It is possible to give someone a bit of a right rear and send them out into the tyre wall, which obviously we don't do we?
No, I mean, obviously,
silent. There we go.
We've got a lot of racing rules here, and some of them are, complex to follow. A lot of rules get added in because you notice things that you never ran before, and you feel like, it's a bit like the hairdryer rule. You have to add more and more rules that you feel are a little bit stupid, but you have to add them because someone says, well, technically it wasn't written down.
Well, exactly, and if it wasn't in the rules, then, you know, it's a good opportunity to try something and if you get away with it.
I was having a chat with Adam, and I was saying, what's the difference between trying to cheat and have an unfair advantage against the rules and trying to find a loophole that's a fun, fair advantage?
Well, a great example of that is that many years ago there was no stipulation between track and pit communication, and some people had the brilliant, intelligent idea of bringing speedway radios and running helmet comms between karts and the pit. So that quickly got banned, and then a few other things as well. So
yeah, and that's why it's a living rule book, and the rules are able to change throughout the weekend. But we've got a fantastic battle coming in here into first place. Tariq's trying to move up through the back pack. And it's not exactly a race for position that's going on here in this little battle pack, right? That some of these cars aren't fighting for the race win, but are simply just fighting for their own race, and everyone's getting sort of tangled up, when actually it would be probably better for them just to move out of each other's ways and let them race their own race.
the problem is though, if you're out there, you don't have that communication from the outside, you don't know who you are battling for position.
So every pace feels like
the winning spot, and they are separated by 5 positions on track, but they are side by side. So.
And I mean, we saw that with Dan when he got out of the car. He didn't think he was winning. He thought he was fighting for third or something. And so you get out and you're like, wait. I think I was talking about this with one competitor, which was you'd rather the race you want to have is the race where you see almost no one for the entire time. Oh, strong little battle pack going on there. Tariq trying to dice his way through. I think he's probably going to have some of the most overtakes of this race, but I don't know if that's going to pay out for him, because every time he has to fight for a position, he's losing lap time.
Yeah. And just like when people do crazy overtaking on the highway, you might now have got rid of that group of people, but then you adjust at the back of the next queue as we go 3 wide.
Massive losing out there for Tariq. Went from gaining a position to almost losing 2, so that was costly for him. Big spin as there was 4 into that corner, and 4 does not go into that corner, and so that was a big spin that was costly there, but I think that was just a racing incident.
Yeah, that was just physics at hand there.
That wasn't malice from any one of those particular drivers. It's just that battle pack, as you said, everyone fighting so intensely, thinking it's fighting the position, even though it wasn't worth it, and that's ruined one of their races. But that's racing, right? It doesn't matter whether it's at rental karts or it's the highest level. Sometimes that stuff just happens when you're fighting a hard but fair race.
Yeah, and we're in the middle of a 3-kart train there. Tariq is trying to attack the car in front of him, but also having to defend the one behind. And so he had to put a bit of a defensive manoeuvre going out of 2, which made him lose some momentum to the car in front. But it looks like he's changed gear and just gapped it down that back straight when he is there battling side by side with kart number 18 of Lucas Petrie.
Yeah, Lucas a little bit heavier than Tariq, so Tariq's definitely got the spin. Oh, another spin into that corner. Again, 3 into 2. Not quite sure. But that situation there, the car on the most outside was holding a line that was what maybe held 2 cars, but certainly not 3, and a decision to just turning them tighter resulted in a spin there. Seeing a few of that corner.
And sometimes that can come from frustration as well. If you've been held up for a while and you think you can't have an opportunity, there is a degree of late braking to try and get someone to move out of your way.
And talk about frustration, Tariq trying to get past Lucas. But Lucas is not an easy guy to pass. We've seen him fast in the 69 category. We've seen him have a race win. Something Tariq's not quite managed in this racing so far, but Tariq has finally gone past Lucas, but that was costly. That hurt a lot of time for Tariq.
So he has made his way up to 3rd position. So our leader is still Ashton Peck in the number 12 kart. There's a 2.5 second gap back to Levi Cavill in the number 7 kart. And then 14 seconds back to Tariq. So he was in 6th position a few laps ago. So he has made up a huge amount of ground as we see the 11 kart coming for a pit. It is Jaden Marmot crossing off one of his compulsory pit stops.
Yeah, of course, well, we have to assume that Levi and Tariq are on a somewhat similar pit strategy and a somewhat similar pace, so showing that Levi's having a little bit more of a smoother race, not going to overtake as many people, just focus on his speed, while Tariq fighting through every single position. While fantastic to watch, has cost him about 14 seconds so far, but it will all depend on the pit strategies. Again, one thing that we don't have this year, but hoping to have later onwards, a pit strategy to understand who's done what pits in the commentary later onwards.
And we see he just got past 13th place Malachi, and kart 21 is in the pit at the moment.
Yeah, and
that
you
is
can
Max
see
Vosper. Max been doing very well. He's still inside the top 10.
the way that you know Tariq's one to watch in this series and one to watch in this race is because once he gets past someone, he's almost gone and up to the next kart within a few seconds. So it doesn't take Tariq long once he's past someone to move up the order. So it's very clear that these people are just holding up on his way. I bet he was just wishing he could be racing on his own right now and just have these people not getting in his way. It's hurting him quite dramatically.
No, but that's not racing, is it? That's just qualifying. So you're having fun out there battling with other people. As I said, Levi is battling with Jaden Marmot, I believe, in kart 11. So they're separated by 3 laps on the timing board. But Jaden's definitely holding his own and trying to not let Levi pass.
And Peyton was having to fend off of Tariq there, and then coming out of turn 3 and into turn 4, she almost shut the door completely on Tariq, and he almost went straight into the wall. Got very lucky that she left him just enough room to survive that one. Tariq on and already starting to pass someone else. So Tariq made 2 passes in 1 lap there. A little bit of fresh air there's a lot of fresh air for Tariq now. He's only got 1 car in front of him. Once he passes that 1 car, he's got pretty much half the track. So good opportunity here for Tariq to finally close some of that 14-second gap.
Now coming on to the back straight there, we see Peyton has just been passed by a couple of karts.
Yeah, perhaps that injury from last night starting to hurt her a little bit, getting into the fatigue at the later parts of the session. Been going now for 40 minutes.
It's crazy. So there's Otis in the 17 was one of the karts who managed to sneak past.
Strong racing skills we've seen from Otis tonight. Have to say, quite happy about the Auckland crowd in this one. I know that there's some Wellingtonians and stuff, but Ashton Peck and Tariq and Otis doing really, really well. So this might be one where I get to celebrate a little bit and have some fun rather than just do you guys.
Well, don't get too excited. With 5.5 minutes to go. As Lauren says, it's a long time in motor racing.
It is, and we still have some pit stops potentially to factor into this. Not quite sure if everyone's done their pit stop, so the grid could change quite dramatically in this one. I definitely have to say, no clear favourite in this race, only a 1-second gap between Ashton Beck and Levi Cavill, so with this, the closest race final we've had all night long.
So we've completed 82 laps for the top 3 karts. 4th position is down from not on that lead lap, and then all the way down to the end of the field. We've got a 5-lap differential between first and last place in terms of placings on the board.
Yeah, very, very close race, at least for the top 4. Then it's a little bit further back for Agman. Agman's still on the lead lap, but Otis is the first of the 2 laps behind races. We saw this in the really long sessions. We saw it both in the 100 kg and in the 75. The lap count, a lot of drivers getting lapped as such a long race goes on, and these faster runners make their way through the pack.
And sometimes it just comes unlucky. You pull into the pits and you might get stuck there for an extra couple of seconds, and when you come out, you bleed onto the track. You can't pull straight onto the racing line. So if you'd exited the pits right now, you've just had 8 karts go past you at full race pace. But you can't do anything about that at all.
Yeah, almost half the grid there, and pit stops being really, really important. You lose a lot of time, especially if you have an extra one.
So Levi Cavill's managed to close the gap to Ashton Peck. It's down to just 1.2 seconds. So Levi's found a bit of a second wind here and bringing it to Ashton, who's had it all his own way for quite some time. With 3.5 minutes to go, we do not know Ashton has completed all of his pits.
Same with Levi, it's a 15-second gap back to Tariq, so that sounds like potentially a pit stops difference, but it's a bit hard to tell where the difference is there. Any one of these top 3 could be in the pound seat for this race win, but you've got to look at the lap times, and most of the top 6 are in the 27 clubs and consistently around the 27, 28. Air temperature coming down, speed picking up. We talked about it earlier in the day with the high temperatures. very hard to hit these low 27s. Now, in the nighttime, with these fast, lightweight kids, consistently in that top 6 it was, we're seeing 27s and 28s.
Oh, big around here.
Oh, that was cart 20, so that was Agman Gill, who's in the top 6. That's going to be gutting for him. Obviously, the yellow's coming out, so that's...
Put your foot down. Go, go, go.
Yeah, that's going to negate some loss. He's not going to lose too many positions, but that's gut-wrenching for him. That means he's going to be in striking distance of Otis now. Lost a lot of, maybe not positions, but track distance, sorry, between him and Otis now. So Otis is a lot closer and within striking distance. Now's the time for Otis to strike while the iron is hot.
There also might have been a bit of confusion there because the yellow light came out briefly, and I noticed a few carts changing position over the grid spots under the yellow light. So we'll see if anything comes from that.
Yeah, definitely.
The battle pack coming onto the start-finish straight, we've got the leaders, but there's also lap cars in there. So there's a lot of energy going on coming into turn 9 and into 1.
One thing that's really fun for us here at Ace that we haven't done before, having cameras recording the race from multiple different views gives our marshals the ability to go back and watch that. Previously, when we've run large events here, we've sort of had to just use our gut and hope that the marshals were looking at the right time. So it's been a lot harder to make calls like that around passing with yellows, but with the cameras being recorded, no mistake is going to go unnoticed in this race. Well, not many at least.
Fantastic. As we get down to 90 seconds remaining in this race, we've just clocked over the 90th lap. Ashton Peck is still in the lead. There's approximately 2 seconds to Levi, and then third position is Tariq, Asher Freeman in 4th, Agman Gill in 5th, and Otis Newman 6th.
I have to say, looking at this top 3, all 3 of those names have been really common to us because they've been in the top 3, and a lot of the races we've seen here this weekend going on, all really fast drivers. We talked with Ashton earlier on, and his experience at E-Volt and up in Matakana, and a fantastically skilled driver, really showing that his advantages in this category. Levi, obviously, again, really fast driver, focused in this session, and Tariq, our current and still track record holder. So again, fantastic showing from all 3 of these guys. Whichever one wins will be the winner, but it doesn't mean that any one of those 3 is not a fantastically skilled driver and has the potential to be New Zealand's next motorsport star.
And I'll tell you what, man, Asher Freeman in the 16 part is looking for any opportunity, stick in the nose left, stick in the right, trying to find a spot, trying to force a mistake so he can get another spot up the ladder there. And you go into the big sweeper down the end. We're going around the outside. Can we make that stick?
But of course, it's going to be coming down to the line because Ashton Peck is about to seal the deal. Ashton Peck, with his racing experience, is about to take the win because Ashton Peck is your race winner for 2025 IORK under 18 and under. Ashton Peck with a fantastic showing his experience on the car. It doesn't matter whether it's electric or it's gas. Ashton Peck is electric tonight. He is your race winner. And he's going to come around for a victory lap. Well done, Ashton. What a fantastic race. If everyone in the crowd right now, a round of applause for Ashton Peck and all your races tonight. They've done a fantastic job. These young kids have been putting their heart out on the line. Cheer for them as they come down pit straight because every one of them has done a fantastic job. Your top 3, Ashton Peck, Levi, Cavill, and Tariq Desdemone. Running up your top 6. Asher Freeman and Agman Gill and Otis Newman. Fantastic job from all of those as well, and everyone on the grid did a fantastic job. Wow. Yeah. Finally got my Auckland win. Good job, Ashton. Not an ace win, but I'll take an Auckland win. That was a very long race. That was a clean, that was a fast, that was an epic race. And we've still got more to come because it's not over tonight. There's still 2 more races to go because we have the 85 kg. Pretty much what we've been considering one of our main races of the weekend. And then one of our fastest categories again, 69 and under. We'll see a few of our competitors who have competed in this one with another opportunity to get another win just in a different category because there's a few kids in this category who still meet the weight requirements for the 69 and under. What can we see from them later on tonight?
Well, I can say that Ashton Peck has levelled up the score It's one each now to Canterbury, Auckland and Wellington. The main centres really poking ahead here. But a good drive from the Nelsonian in second place, Levi Cabell, and Tarek really showing Tarek's speed there for third place. And fourth place was Asher Freeman, and then back to Agman Gill and Otis Newman.
Just come on inside, please. Alright, and we have your race winner here, Ashton Peck. You've been threatening to do it all weekend long. You've had fantastic speed. You gave it with your sister. You gave a good fight. You had some fast guys behind you. Levi was doing everything he could. That was such a close battle. In fact, it was the closest of the night. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think Levi was catching me, but I got a bit of luck through the traffic, and yeah.
And so how did the yellow flags play into the strategy? Were you worried about them at all with a couple of the spins going on? Were you worried about the rain, the temperature? What was going through your mind, and what could have undone that race for you?
I was just trying to make sure no one got past me, and just that I did everything right. Didn't get any more penalties.
So obviously, it's quite a young category compared to a lot of the old dogs out there who may be a little bit past their prime. You've still got a long racing future ahead of you. What's next for Ashton Peck? Are we going to see you moving into pro karts, or is it electric for a few more miles? Where's mum and dad's money from the track going to go into your racing future now that you've won this race? Because you can say, don't worry about the sister, time to focus on my racing career.
I might get into like rotax go-karts and do some proper fast racing on that.
Yeah, of course, kart sport being a great opportunity for young developing drivers, but hopefully it's not the last time that crowd here gets to hear your name, because you've got a bright young future ahead of you. You're a very fast racing driver, showed excellent pace out there, kept it nice, cool and calm, and hopefully plenty more to come from you. Any final words for your race winner?
No, nothing else.
I want to thank mum and dad.
Oh, yeah, thanks to mum and dad, and I'd like to say good job to everyone else that raced. They all did a good race.
That's fantastic sportsmanship there, Ashton Peck. Congratulations, great job, fantastic result. Good night for tonight. I mean, hopefully good night rest, because that was a tough 3 days for you.
Well done to Ashton Peck, and also congratulations to Levi Cabell, who finished in second with the fastest lap of time of a 27.253, which is the fastest lap here this weekend so far. So that was great to see Levi Cabell, who finished second, setting the fastest lap time so far tonight at 27.253. The Nelsonian really showing his speed on the track.
God, even when the Aucklanders win, you'll still find a way to bring it back to the south. I'd just like to mention that was an Auckland 1 and 3. Good job from them. Strong slowing from Levi and Tariq. Very, very fast pedalers. They can hang their heads high with pride, because getting on that podium was a tough one. Really showed all three of them fantastic futures ahead of them, and hopefully we'll see them in kart sport and developing further into the into there, but obviously, hopefully we'll get to see them next year in IORK because they were fantastic competitors. And clean racing, good sportsmanship from all of them. Ashton congratulating his fellow competitors, such a kind thing to do. Obviously, when you're taking a sport so seriously as you do, it's easy to forget that we're all just people in the end and we're here to have fun, and it seems like Ashton had a really good attitude with that. So, yeah. Strong commendation to Ashton for that.
Well, Ash will just go through the grid here. It looks like on grid 1 is George DeLulan.
Yeah, George DeLu. Not quite sure what's going on there, so we'll move back to the scene. Not getting the full grid coming through right now.
We might take a reset here. Okay, we might have to get Nick back into the commentary box for a minute.
It's all right. Got a good opportunity here to run through this category we're going into is the 85k category. Not the heaviest category we see all weekend long, but up there in terms of the weight, but also up there in terms of the experience as well, right?
Well, it's the second heaviest, 85 to 99.9 kg. I'll just get Nick now, maybe. So hopefully we can get a quick reset of the computer and we can tell you the grid positions. We may run out of time for that. Here are the 2025 New Zealand IORK Championships, New Zealand Rental Car Champs. Here it's Go Media, Mount Smart Stadium. And I can tell you what, there's a few warriors on this side of the fence too. So it is the calm before the storm. We're away in racing.
And hopefully we'll get a trigger of, yeah, there we go, David Court, followed by Frank Gilbert in P2, Liam Karan in 3rd, and Phil Auschwitz in 4. Running at your top 5 is Joshua, and what a close race there. Everyone's really pushing. Frank, I can say this now that they're out on the track, Frank not confident he can do a full 45 minutes at his normal pace, but hopefully he just keeps it calm and steady. He's got a very level head, very fast driver, and been around karting for pretty much longer than almost all of us. An incredibly well-known name in the professional karting world, so hopefully good luck to Frank in this session.
He's definitely no slug. Sits there in first place now. He's taken over the lead because we've got David Court coming into the pits. So the order at the moment is Frank Gilbert out front.
Yeah, and Adam Deacon's coming in for an early pit stop, so hopefully that strategy plays well for him. He's got nice clear air, so all he needs to do is focus on just doing some fast laps for a few more laps until he catches back up with the queue.
Well, let's hope he gets some clear air because he is one quick driver.
Yeah, Adam's got plenty of experience, but you know who's got more experience in karting? It's Frank Gilbert, your race leader, who is storming off to a race lead here. Frank really seen the pace, 2.5 seconds after the second lap, already ahead of Joshua. Frank really getting a good car and getting a good position and just seems to be having a strong thing, but I think I see him some raindrops. It looks like there's some raindrops out at turn 5, so that could play a factor into this race.
Oh, well, some of the drivers will be disgusted about that. Others will be smiling from ear to ear. Your race leader at the moment is kart number 4, Frank Gilbert. Then we go back to kart 21, Joshua Bailey. Third is Max G, kart number 17. Then we see kart number 11 back in 4th place, David Court. Then it is kart number 14 in 5th, Ben Lane. Liam Curran, who came on strong yesterday in kart number 18 in 6th place. Then back to Ryan Graham, one of the favourites, in kart number 12, and Callum Beckett in kart number 10, back in 8th.
Yeah, Frank doing a really strong job, already increased that lead to 3.2 seconds. So Frank really setting the pace for this first part of the race. And it looks like Adam Jenkins is close to getting lapped, but just got some free air, so time for Adam to settle in and just focus up on his race.
Well, kart number 10, Callum Beckett, back there in 13th spot, and the reason for that, he's in the pits. But Frank Gilbert, he's going to be a hard man to stop from the front position in kart number 4. And that's a good go-kart, number 4 too, isn't it?
Yeah, well, put it this way, Frank knows more about these karts than almost anyone out there. I think the only person that would know more about the karts would be Steve, the owner himself. But Frank knows a lot about these karts. He would have been making sure he was picking exactly the kart that he wanted. So he knows this kart very, very well. Frank's raced number 4 many, many times. He knows exactly what he's getting into. This race, I promise you, experience is going to be vital. But will Frank have the energy to carry it through to the end?
Well, the one he's probably got, or a couple he's going to have to look out for. We saw a very quick pace from Liam Curran yesterday, and also
Ben Lane. Ben Lane was very fast last weekend, and Ryan Gruen, a name that we've mentioned many times. Even Daniel Douglas, very, very fantastic driver. So a lot of fast drivers in this one, and Frank will know that.
Well, you got to say there, Ash, this is a chance for Auckland to strike back. There's quite a few quick Auckland drivers in this one.
Yeah, we had a good opportunity in the last race, good opportunity in this race, so later night's proving well for me, but it's a long, long race. As we saw in the last session, it's really long, and with this rain coming in and it getting dark, anything could happen. So I'm not counting my chickens until they roost. Frank telling me probably not one...
Hedge, mate. Hedge.
Yeah, well, Frank telling me probably not one to bet on himself. Adam, a good opportunity, but my money would probably be on Daniel Douglas to be the best opportunity right now.
Well, your race leader, Frank Gilbert, kart number 4, ahead of kart 21, Joshua Bailey, and now Ryan Graham, one of the favourites, up to 3rd place. Couple in the pits there, one of them's number 11. Number 11, I can't see him on the leaderboard there.
Yeah, and what he's doing there is he's hitting the throttle and the pedal with this. He's braked and stuff with the thing, but he's trying to rev the cars in the pit lane. That's actually really not actually a great way of approaching it. Not only does it damage the clutch, causing a potential chance for a mechanical later onwards, it's also just not any faster. So it would be in a higher torque category, it would be more important, but a technique that's not used here in the rental cars is a bit pointless. And
so could he be in for a penalty point there?
To be honest, I don't know if it would rise to the point of being a penalty point, but definitely no advantage to doing it. And as I said, it puts you at more risk of a mechanical later onwards if the clutch goes, and that would only be self-inflicted if you were to do that. So I don't know if I'd be doing that strategy.
And of course, they have a considerable tough clutch on these cars.
Yeah, delicate hands definitely going to be the way to approach this.
So your race leader still Frank Gilbert from Jonathan Bailey. Joshua Bailey, sorry, and Ryan Graham. Michael Robertson back there up to 4th. I thought he was in the consolation final.
Maybe for his heat and that particular one, but still has an opportunity here in this one by the looks of it.
Well, Adam Jenkins just behind Lloyd McLaughlin. The cream's starting to rise to the top.
Very long way, so very early to say. Frank Gilbert with an impressive 4.4 second lead. So Frank probably just trying to make the most of it while he's still got the energy. He's one of our older competitors, so Frank just trying to push out those fast laps, and it's really impressive to watch Frank in such a competitive racing series. Obviously a winner of the 5 Hours of Ace a few times with Frank with his friends.
Well, you've got to say he's doing very well, because we know this is a young man's sport.
Oh, he's doing incredible, and to be his age and to be competing at this level is insane, but to be this fast shows you how good Frank was in his heyday, and the fact that he's still around now and still kicking it with these young kids and showing them how it's done. It's just an incredible story for Frank. A great member of Ace and really part of the Ace family here.
Well, Frank Gilbert, a lap time of 28.371. Pretty quick.
Yeah, Frank at one point having the lap record here at Ace, up until these younger kids start to come along and with the lighter weight and eventually show them what it's done. But yeah, Frank, very skilled, very experienced. What more can I say? I wouldn't count him out. I think that his endurance will do well.
Yep, so we look through the Tauranga specials out there. We've got Josh Bailey coming into the pits right now, and also Callum Burkett is out on track. So we've got two Tauranga locals, and they've got a pretty relaxed pit strategy, I've been told.
Oh, Callum Burkett, tell us a bit about Callum. He's a bit of a character.
Callum's pretty good. He's a pretty jovial type. Does take his racing very, very seriously. So he has competed in a bit of speedway. He's done dirt karts and obviously a lot of rental karts, having been a previous track manager at Bay Karts in Mount Maunganui. So always look forward to coming to IORK each year and meeting up with the various centre crews and having a good old hoon around. So he's currently down the order, probably done a few of his pit stops early.
Well, I can tell you, things are getting exciting because Ryan Graham, and we know how quick Ryan Graham is, he's up to second place, around about 8 seconds behind our race leader. Oh, in fact, now he's gone to the front because Frank Gilbert is in the pits. Back there in third place is still Michael Robinson, followed by Lloyd McLaughlin. Then you go back to Joshua Bailey and David Wheeler.
And car 14 just exiting the pits now, which is Ben Lane, of course.
Well, he's no slug, is he? Ben Lane. He's been up there or thereabouts all week.
Yeah, and another quick anti-slug Matt Curtis in 15, flicking off one of his pit stops. And I can see out under the lights, bit of a battle out of turn 3. Where's my camera? I can't see nothing.
It looks like fastest lap time out there at the moment. Frank Gilbert, a 28.311.
So still a bit of room to move for these guys in the lap time bracket. As we see, Callum is on the bumper of Daniel Douglas, so he knows he needs to keep with him if he wants to be at the top of the food chain.
Well, he can't be too bad there, Lance a lot, because Daniel Douglas, you have to say, he's one of the quickest Aucklanders out there.
He's definitely been consistent all weekend. As we see, 7th place Adam Jenkins come past the line, and he is 2 laps off the leader, Ryan G. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say Ryan G has not done too many pit stops at this stage of the race. So we're only 10 minutes in.
Yeah, well, you look at the lap times of Ryan Graham, 28.487. I can see only what I think it is a couple of competitors a wee bit quicker. Frank Gilbert, a 28.311, and also Joshua Bailey, a 28.35.
So Josh Bailey's quite quick in the early stages of these. Very enthusiastic young chap. Hopefully he can maintain that energy through the whole 45-minute race. He's got a great team spotting for him, but hopefully he doesn't fade. They're going into 3 karts into turn 1. They're gaining on Adam Jenkins as well, so that's an interesting development. Josh makes a spot.
Okay, it looks like we've got a couple of movers and shakers in this one, back and forth and 5th. We've got Max G, and he's being pursued by Kirk Vespa.
Adam Jenkins signals coming to the pits. 6 and 7, Kurt Vosper and Lloyd McLaughlin have come out, completed the lap, and now under the lights on the switch back for turn 3.
Well, we know from past experience that our man in the pits now likes to get rid of his pit stop pretty early in the race.
And there's a pretty solid strategy. The only way I can see that backfiring would be if we get rain. So as soon as the moisture comes out, if there's guys out there who are still needing to do pit stops, they will have an advantage over the other people on the track. Given it'll take longer to do laps in the rain, so you lose less track position doing pits while it's wet.
Well, we have a look at the positions at the moment, and Ryan Graham, kart number 12, your race leader, 18 seconds ahead of Frank Gilbert. And then we go back to Joshua Bailey. You'd have to say that maybe Ryan Graham pit stop behind one or two of the other drivers.
Yeah, quite likely, and we've got two cars coming in together who have been battling on track. Daniel Douglas and Callum Burkett. So they're putting together and they were line astern on track. So this is for position back in 8th and 9th.
10th and 11th actually at the stage.
There we go.
Oh, good start there. There's probably just a slightly heavier weight there of, it wasn't Daniel Burkett, the other driver, Daniel Douglas, got the advantage. Well, it's starting to get quite dark out there, Lancelot.
Yeah, you can't see very much at all down in the sweeper at the far end of the track.
Oh, here comes the big move down the straight. Look at this, too wide.
And you got Daniel right on the bumper of kart number 5 of Lloyd McLaughlin, so there's a lot of pressure going on there.
Yeah, so although Ryan Grant has got a good lead of around about 18 seconds, there's still good dice going on behind him. In saying that, some of the cars starting to get rather spread out.
Yeah, there's definitely got lots of gaps around the track as these guys are starting to get into their rhythm. The pit stops are starting to kind of normalise, guys feeding back onto the track out of their race order.
And who's this in the pits now? Which
Is that number 11?
Number 11, that'll be David Court. It's like you're sitting there for eternity with a pit stop, isn't it?
It really is. It's only 15 seconds, but it feels like so long. And you wonder, have they forgotten to give me the green light?
Okay, we pick up your race leader once again, kart number 12, Ryan Grom. He's completed 29 laps with 31 minutes still to go. Frank Gilbert there in second place, 16 seconds. So Frank Gilbert has marginally closed that gap down.
It's still a big gap, isn't it?
It's a horrendous gap.
And there's only 3 karts on the lead lap line, so 4th place backwards, they're all a lap down.
I'd suggest that maybe they've done more pit stops.
You'd hope so. Now you see Adam Jenkins chasing down the 15 karts of Matt Curtis. So Matt Curtis, he's in 13th. Adam is all the way up in 8th. So another kart going to be lapped.
I'm starting to like Adam Jenkins' pit stop strategy because it's really an all or nothing. Because as you say, if it rains, it'll turn to custard for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam's very consistent with his laps though, so he can kind of bank on himself, returning those positions as he feeds his way up through the track as the other guys peel off to do their pit stop. So I think he's going to see the net benefit from that. I do see 2 karts behind him is Josh Bailey. So Josh Bailey is in 3rd position at the moment.
Now in your experience, Lance, you would have experienced like some drivers are quite good intimidators, aren't they, to other drivers?
Yeah, you can definitely let a guy know that you're there in their space, and it can rattle someone knowing that they're potentially going to have a move made on them. There's great passing opportunities here at Ace Motorsport, so you can make a variety of moves.
But in the other case, there's some guys that are just unstoppable. They're unflappable.
Maybe it comes down to experience. I don't know. Guys who have had experience in other karts or other forms of racing, and they're like, well, I've got my line, I know where I'm allowed to be, and you've got to go around me to make it any different.
And talking to which, we've still got our race leader, Ryan Grom, and looking at that lead now, it's up to 27.007.
And Ryan has just come into the pits as you speak, so this is going to shake it up. Oh, it's a huge lead, so maybe he'll be able to hold on to it.
I think he might still come out in front. We'll just have to see. It's going to be tight between himself and Joshua Bailey. And the lead comes down to 2.7 seconds now.
And Ryan slots in just behind Adam Jenkins, but in front of Josh Bailey. So that is 4th position. Frank Gilbert currently in third position in the number 4 kart.
Then we go back to Max G and Ben Lane. You have to say that the cream is really rising to the top. And look, Adam Jenkins there in 7th place. He's done 3 of his 4 stops, I think.
Ah, right. So he can relax a little bit. He doesn't have to be so frantic with trying to make those spots. Whereas Josh Bailey is super frantic behind him, all over his back bumper, as Josh makes a move and gets past Ryan. And so hopefully Josh is going to go and convert that on Adam as well. So
just having a look at the lap times. The lap times are coming down. 28.17 for our race leader, Joshua Bailey now. At 28.11 to Max G. And then 28.2 to Frank Gilbert. And a 28.2 to Ryan Groen, now in 4th place. There's nothing in it, Mark.
Well, uncategoristically, Ryan has slipped back a couple of spots. Both Josh and Callum have got past him on the last lap. So I wonder if he's having an issue, or if he has, I don't know, maybe the longer length of the race is getting to him.
Oh, I see a bit of moisture.
Here we come into the pits again for Ryan.
Could be a bit of moisture. Nick's holding up his hand.
It doesn't rain in Auckland, does it?
If it doesn't rain, it pours.
Well, I tell you what, the Taringa boys will be loving it if it rains. So we are getting a few drops of moisture.
And there we go, Adam Jenkins coming up for his 4th and final stop, I think it is. Thumbs up for Adam.
Yeah, that could prove, it could go one of either ways, but if the rain comes down and the drivers are not really paying attention, you could find a whole lot of people backwards in the tyres. That scenario is going to benefit the likes of Adam Jenkins, who doesn't have to do any more pits, and he's just going to gain positions for free.
Well, Adam actually comes from a very experienced motorsport background.
Yeah, 3rd generation petrol head, isn't he?
Yeah, I think we put the commentator's curse, he just got past there.
Yeah, but he's on his outlap, so he'll be lacking momentum. You don't get up to full speed until you get onto that back straight again. So your outlap from your pits is definitely your slowest lap. As it looks like the Bash brothers of Callum Burkett and Josh Bailey holding Adam Jenkins out there.
He didn't really cover his line, did he? That was his mistake.
No, he left it wide open. You're quite right.
So we'll go through the order once again. Joshua Bailey, your race leader, kart number 21. Max G now slips into 2nd place, kart number 17. In 3rd place it is Frank Gilbert in kart number 4. Then we go back to Ben Lane, kart number 14. And Lloyd McLaughlin shaking things up there in 5th, kart number 5.
Well, I don't know if you can tell out there, folks, but on the screens we can see rain. So if it's on TV, it must be true. You can expect the chicane to magically appear before your eyes in a few moments.
Well, this will cause havoc with some of the drivers, and expect to see a bit of action on track with just 24 minutes to go.
And we've got another one in the pits coming in to get them marked off. It is car 21 of Josh Bailey.
Just a fun fact, with the weather coming down, the one thing that Adam Jenkins was most concerned about coming into this race is I've got a good chance of winning this race, but if it starts to rain in the final race, I'm going to be seriously like a duck out of water and a knock on in this wet weather racing.
A lot of drivers like to play things down, and it is Max G, your race leader now in kart number 17. He's followed by the very experienced Frank Gilbert, kart number 4, and Joshua Bailey, kart 21. Ben Lane back there in 4th in kart number 14.
So as we see the battle pack come out of 3 and 4, going into that sweeper at the back, there's a lot of karts out of position who are racing front nose to tail. So if this does change, a lot of these guys are going to peel off the pits. They will possibly get a more accurate representation on track.
Well, Ben Jenkins is, not Ben Jenkins, Ben... Daniel Jenkins caught in a bit of action there with a few other drivers.
Just a call out to the crowd. Anyone racing in the 69 category, under 69 kilos? Yeah, so under 69 kilos, we are missing a couple of drivers from the drivers briefing. So if you are racing in the under 69 kilos class, you need to be in the drivers briefing room right now.
Well, Max G, your race leader in kart number 17, you've got to say he's doing a polished job out there.
He's definitely keeping out in front, isn't he? As I see Josh Bailey just put a move. Coming onto the back straight. Right behind, I think it's Ben. 20. Daniel Douglas, my apologies. You know what these carts need? Numbers on the sides.
Or numbers on the back of the drivers. Okay, great racing under lights here at Go Media Stadium, Mount Smart. But it is Max G, your race leader. Have a look at that lead. It's only 2.7 seconds, 2.4 seconds back to Frank Gilbert in second place. Joshua Bailey's got a bit of a gap to make up in third. And Lloyd McLaughlin still sitting there at fourth. Ahead of Ryan Brown, who seems to have slipped back. Perhaps the the slippery conditions not suiting Ryan.
Yeah, well, I've been noticing that, and he has not been holding his pace as I would have expected. His kart 6 comes into the pits, which is Kirk Rosper. That thing's got a Matty Ferguson exhaust on it. And Daniel Douglas and Josh Bailey still neck and neck out there.
Now, from your experience, Lance, would you, in these sort of conditions, would you like to have a jacket on, or would you just like to be wearing your shorts and t-shirt?
Oh, being from the mount, we just wear shorts and t-shirt all year round anyway.
Oh, you're hardy, so hardy.
In the kart, it doesn't make, you do get hot anyway, so a jacket's pretty much overkill. A lot of guys are racing in race suits all day long. I don't know whether that's to keep up to the minimum weight, but at night, if it rains, you probably do want coveralls on so that you're not going to get covered in muck.
Okay, we've got a pit stop coming now. Just check the number on this one. It is kart number 17. And that is our second place getter at the moment. That is Max G. We certainly wouldn't want to drive around here naked, not this time of night.
Wow. We are on YouTube, Lawrence. Awesome. The chasing would be horrendous as Callum Burkett makes a move on kart number 5 of Lloyd McLaughlin. Now Callum is a lap down, so he's trying to claw his way back up on the karts he is racing at the moment. And we have number 13 coming into the pits. That is piloted by someone who's not in the top 13 karts.
No, he's not on our screen. So Frank Gilbert really showing his experience out there. He's got a 17.1 second lead over Joshua Bailey.
Yeah, Frank Gilbert, we're just looking at his lap times. He is consistently in the 28.5 second bracket, just lap after lap after lap. So he's very likely to hold on to that first position. A little bit of experience there, a little bit of stamina perhaps.
Well, sometimes when you're, as a driver, if you lower your expectations, sometimes you do a lot better than what you think you will. And Frank Gilbert is really showing that at the moment. A fastest lap of 28.16. Just going a smidgen quicker is the man in second place, Joshua Bailey, at 28.12.
I can tell you right now, if Frank does manage to seal the deal on this one, I'll be pretty ecstatic. I've been pretty tame about a lot of these winners. A lot of the drivers I was really hoping to see do really well, maybe not doing quite as well, but Frank in the pits now, which is a good chance for him. We'll get to see where he comes out, but Frank is definitely one that I've wanted to see win this race. So if Frank can actually do this, or if he can hear me right now, Frank, you're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing because you're in the lead, buddy.
But Joshua Bailey now has taken over the lead, so he may have been a pit stop down. They've done 54 laps at the moment with 18 minutes to go. This one could go down the wire.
Yeah, definitely, but don't underestimate Frank's consistent pace. It's very, very good. Obviously coming into the later session, so any opportunity that Frank might become a little bit slower, but still plenty to play for here.
Well, cream rises to top. Look at these top drivers out front. Joshua Bailey, Max G, Frank Gilbert. In fact, as I say, Max G has now hit the front. Maybe a bit of a moment there for Josh Bailey.
Josh is in the pits right in front of us. Completing one of his stops.
And this advantage to Frank Gilbert once again. But Max G has taken over the lead. He's got a 7.8 second lead now. And then we've got 17 seconds back to Joshua Bailey. Ryan Grimes not out of this one either. He's 21 seconds in the arrears. Has it stopped raining out there, chaps?
Yeah, we don't seem to be having the moisture falling from the sky, but that big spotlight makes it look like there's surface water haze. So
certainly might be a smidgen breezy out there. So race leader now is Max G, cart number 17, cart number 4. Frank Gilbert sits there in second place ahead of cart 21, Joshua Bailey, and cart number 12. Now up to fourth place, Ryan Graham. And behind him you've got Ben Lane, cart number 14, and Callum Beckett, the man from Tauranga, sits there in sixth place.
Well, Callum and Daniel Douglas have just had this constant battle going out on track for this whole race. So pit strategies must be in sync because they rejoin and they find each other again. So the longer length of these pit stops in the finals does mean you rejoin pretty close to where you exited on track. So these two are going to be fighting it up for the next 16 minutes, and it is going to be for position somewhere around 6.
I think actually Adam Jenkins may move up the leaderboard because I think has he done all his stops? He has. There's the shake of the head. And he's one position behind Daniel Douglas.
Yeah, so Frank did his pit stop not so long ago, dropped back those positions. Now he is only 7 seconds behind first place. So he's actually risen back up quite quickly. Oh. Yeah, he's got a huge amount of fresh air. So it's going to be pretty hard for Josh to catch him, I reckon.
Yeah, just having a look at the lap times. Oh, look at that. Fastest lap is fastest lap, Max G, at 28.098. That's there flying, almost into the 27s.
That's fantastic, especially this time of night as the track is cooling off. So Max has got some fresh air and is absolutely making the most of it.
Of course, the engines like the cool air and go quicker as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you need every tenth of a horsepower you can get out of these things. Now the battle back in the mid-pack there, Lloyd McLaughlin and David Wheeler.
Okay, we'll go through the front positions at this stage. In front is cart number 17, Max G, doing a great job out there. We'll see what the gap is between Max G and Frank Gilbert. It's 7.6 seconds back to second place. Joshua Bailey is next in third place. And then we go back to Ryan Brown in cart number 12. And then your mate Callum Beckett from Tauranga. He's having a stunner. In fifth place ahead of Daniel Douglas. I'll tell you what, there's just 14 minutes to go.
Speaking of 14, cart number 14, Ben Lane, just did another one of his pit stops. So that is good to get those clocked off. And I was just looking down the order. Phil Elsford, he's currently 16th out of 16, which is uncharacteristic for him. So I wonder if he's had a moment out there, or if maybe he banked all of his pit stops super early and is just hoping to make that all even out with 13 to go.
Okay, look out there for Adam Jenkins. He's right on Daniel Douglas's tail. Adam Jenkins in 6th, Daniel Douglas in 6th, Adam Jenkins in 7th. So it's still Max G, your race leader, 4.7 seconds. Frank Gilbert closing that gap down.
Now it's great to see the consistency continuing. There's a minute disappear into nothing. 12 to go. Just trying to fresh air there for Callum Burkett.
Now Lance, would you say at this end of the night, do you think now that Ryan Grant may be regretting competing in 2 classes, where he's just off the podium in this one now, and maybe just concentrating on one class might have got him on the podium?
Oh, it's too hard to say. Ryan's fairly competitive. He's a good hard racer, so I think not so much physical fatigue. I would say it's probably a combination of the people he's racing around, the cart he's drawn, and just really hard to pass when you're in those battle packs of the really evenly classed drivers. So maybe if there's a pit stop ahead of him, we don't know if those 3 guys have all done all of theirs. Pretty sure Ryan's done all of his.
Well, we're looking at a great battle in 6th and 7th between Daniel Douglas and Adam Jenkins. They've been at hammer and tongs for a number of laps.
Yeah, there's definitely an ongoing feud there. As we see, car 18 is Liam. So Josh Bailey's going around Liam Curran there. Oh, Liam got him back. So the old switch back.
Well, Max G doing the business out front. He's going to be hard to peg back. And Frank Gilbert has just drifted back a wee bit from it. The gap now is 5.5 seconds. So with 11 minutes to go, it's still there. It's still there for the fighting.
Absolutely. So carts 11 and 14 going into turn 1 there. So that's David Court and Ben Lane. Again, 2 guys that seem to be just stuck together with magnets this race. Toing and fro. Can they get the undercut going into the sweeper? No, can't make that happen.
Well, that lead, the gap in the lead now is a wee bit stagnant. It's still around that 5-second mark between Max G and Frank Gilbert. Back there in 3rd is still Joshua Bailey in kart 21. Ryan Groen can't seem to make any impression in 4th place in kart 12. And then we go back to Taurogger's finest, Callum Beckett.
And this might be Ryan Groen's opportunity to get on the podium as we see Frank Gilbert in the pit lane. So he's left his last stop quite late with 10 minutes remaining. So let's see if Ryan can get ahead of him as we come through. Frank joins. We'll have to wait a lap and see with the system to update.
Yes, we'll see what the gap is as they come around. Max G, your race leader, comes across the line. The gap is 22.167. So it looks like a pit stop there for Frank Gilbert, and he slips down to 4th place.
So there we go. That was Ryan's opportunity to jump up onto the podium there. So let's see if he can hang on to that.
We'll see how far he is behind Joshua Bailey in 2nd place. Ryan Groen, very talented driver, Ryan Groen. And now looking at the gap.
It's quite a gap, yeah.
It is 4 seconds between 2nd and 3rd.
And there's a lapped car in between them. So not only does Ryan have to make up 4 seconds, he's also going to get past one of the lapped cars.
But you've got to say, Lance, 4 seconds and there's 9 minutes to go. 9 minutes in motorsport is a long time.
Absolutely. I just want it to rain. Like, come on, let's mix it up. Let's get it on.
You'll probably get your wish. This is Auckland, remember?
And just doing a little bit of calculations, not really quite sure on the pits, but right now I'd be putting my money on Frank Gilbert in a very good position right now. Frank Gilbert in a very strong position.
And we we've got a cart around backwards at turn 3.
Oh,
Do we stay
no.
green? Do we stay green? No.
That driver's day is turned to custard.
No, no idea who it is. Black cart, black shirt, black helmet. Super helpful for commentators. Yeah, everyone needs a color-coded helmet. That'd be great.
Well,
Well,
the
we've got
order's
some
just changed.
furious-
I'll tell you
furious-
what, that must be the 4th place driver, because Callum Beckett is now showing in 4th place.
Oh, so you think it was Frank Gilbert who got turned around?
So we pick up your race leader is Max G in cart number 17, from Joshua Bailey in cart 21, Ryan Groen up into 3rd place now in cart number 12, and then Callum Beckett. Callum Beckett could make the podium here, Lance, in 4th position.
Oh, there's some heated conjecture going on in the crowd here about why that person got spun, so that might filter out on some penalties post-race.
All we can say is it sounds like Frank Gilbert was the one that had a bit of an issue there, but Frank was definitely one of the highest drivers that had completed his pit stops. Most of the top 3 were yet to complete that, and Frank was in a really good position. It's not over for Frank, he's still in a really good spot, but a bit of work to do for him.
So both Max and Ryan have pitted together. So that is 2 of your top 3 have come in and pitted with 6 minutes remaining.
And we have a new race leader. Here's Joshua Bailey with a 3.3 second lead over Max G and Callum Beckett. So it's all to play for here.
I think it's going to change again as these filter down. These guys are going to get back up to speed after their pit stops, and they're going to try super hard to get those spots back. Now, as it's reseamed, it looks Frank Gilbert is still in 4th place with those 2 guys pitting. So he's managed to not be in too much of a deficit there. But there is a question mark around that yellow light and some overtaking that may or may not have happened. So stay tuned on that one.
Joshua Bailey, that leads, I think is coming down slightly. It's down to 6.5 seconds. Max G in 2nd place, and Callum Beckett, you must be wrapped for Callum, sitting there in a potential podium place in 3rd.
Absolutely, Callum has worked really hard for that, and I think with Josh's lap times there, he was being held up by a lapped car there, so he was stuck behind the number 5 for a lap or so. Now he's got him clear of Ben Lane, and he's just gapped him down the straightaway, so Josh will be hoping to keep his lead. It looks like he's 6 seconds ahead of Matt. It's just changed to a longer lead, so Max G is still in deficit to Josh Bailey in 1st position.
Yes, it looks like that lead is fluctuating backwards and forwards, but Callum Beckett sits in the comfortable 3rd at the moment from Frank Gilbert and Daniel Douglas. Ryan Groen slipped down to 6th, and Adam Jenkins coming back into it in 7th.
And we hit 5 minutes to go, so we got some late pit stops coming in now. Who we got here? Joshua Bailey in the 21 cart. Hopefully, dear goodness, that's his last pit stop. And Ben Lane, the flow cart that was keeping him out, is also pitted behind him. So hopefully Josh can get out and get clear.
It looks like Ben Lane might be suffering a bit from arm pump.
Yeah, and deep breaths there, a lot of stretching going on. 45 minutes is a heck of a long time in a go-kart. They got no suspension.
Oh, great little dice going there through turns 1 and 2.
Oh, is it? Adam Jenkins.
Three wide up
between 3. The loser in that was, I think, Adam Jenkins. Is trying to make it back up on the inside of the sweeper there. He does get one of those spots. So once you make a move on someone, if you go offline, you do lose so much momentum. I could be wrong with that call. Everyone's looked the same at this time of night.
And guess what, Lance Somerville? We have a new race leader once again. It is Max G, who's got to the front ahead of your man, Callum Beckett.
Yeah, and Josh Bailey's late pit stop is really punishing him. He is down in 5th position. But in 6 is Ryan Groen. So I think the arm pump is getting to Ryan. He is falling down the field there.
Look at this battle for second. There's nothing left between Callum Beckett and Frank Gilbert. I'll tell you what, you're going to have a exciting battle here with Ash because...
And look at the lap times. They're neck and neck in terms of 28.0 lap time. So they're as fast as each other, and their active laps are both 28.5. So
and your man has just set the fastest lap, a 28.007 to Callum Beckett from Tauranga.
Nice. Burkett, there's an R in it. Max, Callum, Frank, Daniel, Josh, Ryan, Adam. I'm going to be smacked with something soon. Okay, who's in the pits now? They can't tell from here. So,
9 cars on track.
oh, there's some desperate moves going on out there.
Well, they will be starting to get desperate. There's only 2.5 minutes to go.
Come on, Frank.
There's some great support in the crowd cheering on their drivers. That's what we want, guys. You let your drivers know. Cheer them on. They can absolutely hear you through the helmet over the noise of the engine.
I think that's the commentator standing beside you, actually, but... No, Max G, your race leader.
Frank Gilbert up to second. That's a fantastic job. Obviously had that issue earlier on, but I'm sorry, guys. At his age, this is just so impressive from Frank. Getting into second, didn't even think he was going to have the pace. A minute to go, and I think the race win is a little bit out of his hand with 11 seconds to go, but Frank Gilbert getting on this podium is an absolute fantastic. There's words that I want to use and I can't use on YouTube.
Okay, but look at the podium. It's going to be a battle for second, third, and fourth. Who's going to miss out on a podium here? Will it be Frank Gilbert? Will it be Callum Burkett? Or will it be Daniel Douglas?
Yeah, Daniel Douglas 2.6 seconds, a little bit behind, so a little bit without striking distance, but Callum still could be challenging for that silver medal. It's still valuable, every position. You definitely much rather come second than third right now.
Well, the gap between Frank Gilbert and Callum Burkett, it's only about 1/10 of a second.
I think Frank's done amazing to come back from that spin. Like, that's unheard of. And he's in the second place. I hope he's remembered to do all of his pit stops, because that
Big
could be...
move there into turn 1.
Okay.
We have just over 30 seconds to go in this one. In the 70 to 85 kg, or 85 kg to 99.9 kg bracket. So your race leader is Max G and cart number 17. Can he hold off Callum Burkett and Frank Gilbert? Now back to third. Just looking for a race leader, Max G.
Checkered flag has just come out.
Max G has done it. Max G is your winner in the 85 to 99.9 kg class. You are the New Zealand champion, Max G. Second place will go to Frank Gilbert, and third on the podium, Callum Burkett. And back there in fourth, I tell lies.
No.
I tell lies anyway. Okay, here is the order. Max G is your race winner ahead of Callum Burkett. Frank Gilbert in third. Daniel Douglas, unlucky to miss the podium. Ryan Graham back there in fifth place. Then Joshua Bailey in sixth. Okay, that could be our first international winner.
And that's another Auckland win back-to-back, because Max is from Auckland, so another regional win for the Auckland Nationals. Showing Wellington and Christchurch where we're made of. Hey, IORK, you came up here to Auckland and you found out what we had, and it turns out we won 2 of your heats. Woo!
Yeah, but you forgot to mention that your population is 4.25 times the population of Christchurch.
4.25 faster and cooler. Well, if we can get a chance to chat to Max, I know he's going to want to celebrate with all of his friends, family, and his fellow competitors, but once he gets his moment, the adrenaline settles down.
I can see he's absolutely ecstatic.
He really is from Germany.
Oh, there you go.
So,
We'll claim it as our first international winner. Max G.
Max, a name that we didn't hear too much in the heats because he got some good results, definitely showed some pace, but not quite a lot of wins on the cards in your category. Obviously a really large category, so lots of different really fast people. But when it came down to it, when it mattered in the heat, in the final, when the championship was on the line, you showed up. You turned out to be the fastest. How are you feeling right now, Max?
It's awesome, yeah. It's been an awesome event. Like, shout out to all the organizers. Like, it's been amazing, yeah.
And so how's your weekend been? I mean, we've barely got to talk to you. What's your thoughts of the track? What's your thoughts of the event so far? You're on day 3 now. It's all over. How's the emotions feeling?
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, I met, like, you know, a couple of new people. Like, shout out to Dave. Like, made new friends. And yeah, track awesome, car's awesome. Yeah, that's been really, really great.
I mean, that's one of the great things about motorsport, right? Making friends and making fun rivalries, but also making good friends along the track as well. You've clearly showed a lot of pace. This is your first IORK event as well, right?
Yeah, it's my first IORK event, first time competing in New Zealand, and yeah, so...
I don't know if you know this, but there was a little bit of a regional battle going on between Wellington, Christchurch and Auckland, but you showed up for Auckland tonight, so good one for that one. How are you going to celebrate tonight? You going to head over to Lily World and grab a drink afterwards?
Yeah, sure, yeah, going with my friends to Lily World, and yeah, grabbing a drink.
Well, congratulations, Max. A fantastic showing. 45 minutes. That's not easy, but you came through. You were the fastest tonight, and now you're our 2025 IORK Champion, Max.
And tell us, Max...
No rugby question.
No, this isn't a rugby question. This isn't a rugby question. In fact, it's more complimentary to Germany, actually. Because I thought you were Dutch, so I was going to say that probably your motorsport hero would be Max Verstappen. But now that I know you're German, it would probably be Michael Schumacher.
Of course, yes, Michael Schumacher.
Excellent stuff. Congratulations, Max G.
Thank you.
All right, and guess what we've got?
Okay, apparently there's some really good deals with food. Everything is half price. And if Nicholas Warburton is telling me lies, we're in trouble.
And we're here with another podium finisher, one of our fastest competitors throughout the weekend, someone that had an incredible race because you were flying throughout the race. I know you were saying earlier that you weren't confident you were going to have the endurance, but Frank, I don't know if you know this because you haven't seen the results. For pretty much most of that lap, that was your race. You were miles ahead of the competition, and to be honest, once you had your pit stops done, almost no one was able to touch you. An unfortunate spin sort of midway towards the end of the race. How was that race for you, Frank?
It was okay. I mean, I'm a bit frustrated that I left the door open at that last corner. My mates are going to absolutely give me bollocks for that. Because, yeah, that was silly. That was a good race. Enjoyed it. And I really appreciate that IORK and Ace and all of the here have done an immense amount of work. I've seen some of it that they've done. It was really paid off.
And of course, you're basically an Ace family. I mean, I've known you for a long time because you've been showing up almost every weekend at this track. You've helped us set up these cars, get them into such a position. So you're a huge part of that as well, Frank. And a huge round of applause for Frank for competing at his age. He's doing a fantastic job. A great race and a podium finish for Frank Gilman, everybody! And just in between the races, we're going to have a little bit of a refuel. So while that's going on, I'm just going to have a little chat with you guys because it's been a fantastic event so far. 3 days of racing, intense racing across it. We've had multiple heats across multiple different categories. We've had fierce competitions, fierce rivalries and battles throughout the entire weekend, and it's been a great event. IORK is a really special event to us, and we've just sort of in its infancy really when you compare to where we're going in the future and its future development. We're looking forward to hosting it next year, but next year it's going to be a bit more exciting because right now IORK is hosted at one event. But I can release this here exclusively for the first time. IORK next year will be a multi-location event. That's right, IORK next year will be taken across the country. So competitors from around New Zealand will be able to compete in IORK 2026. Now, leading into tomorrow, there's an epic battle going on because it's a Bathurst team battle. The rivalries that have been spawned across today, yesterday and the day before all come into a head for quite a fun race. This is one that's built up with a lot of rivalries as it's a team competition, but it's also one that's filled with a lot of fun and a good chance to relax. It's a bit of a celebratory race. It's hard to run these events, and a lot of the staff here put in a lot of effort, and so it's great to have a sort of commemorative race at the end of it. And if you're not entered in, you still have the opportunity to enter in, find a teammate, get entered in. It's a great event. It's going to be great fun, and there's going to be a wide group of people across it. But of course, if you don't want to enter, but you still want to come along and watch, it's going to be a lot of good racing. It's a little bit of an interesting and different strategy because it's a team-based race. So we're going to see swap overs, not just pit stops, but actual driver changes. And that's going to play a big factor as well. So a really cool event that the IORK team is putting on as well, and that's running into tomorrow. So the racing doesn't end today, even though our finals will be coming through. And of course, this event would not be possible without our partners and our team. Every single marshal here, if you see them in a yellow vest, they are here working throughout the night. People have been putting their blood, sweat and tears into this event, not only to get this track running and operational, but to run this through the night. Every marshal making tough calls, making hard work, and just putting in effort beyond the normal amount you would in any other job. The marshals here have been doing a fantastic work. The event organizers have been doing a fantastic work. And events like this would not be possible without these people who are willing to sacrifice their time, their energy, their blood, sweat and tears. And so we'd just like to thank them. Events like this also wouldn't be possible without sponsors and without partners who help us get this stuff going. So of course, if you're hungry and you're wanting to get some food in between this break, head over to Lilywood. It is fantastic. They're helping us out a lot and they're providing a great service to you guys as well. So please give them the support because that's very much appreciated by the team here in the event here. Of course, also we need to thank Racefacer, a sponsor who's helping us run IORK. Next year will be a really important year for us, and especially with Racefacer, and it's the perfect solution and service for a track like this. Obviously, Nick's a great person to talk to when it comes to Racefacer here in New Zealand, but we are really incredibly grateful to the Racefacer service and system. And of course, we need to thank Rental Carts New Zealand, rental cart suppliers. Without them, we'd never have some of the equipment that we'd have, but we'd also never have some of the understanding and knowledge that we have. Events like this can't go on without people like this. And of course, as we lead into late into the night, just to remember, tomorrow there's still sim racing available, and the sim racing is a great way. We saw a great story from Otis, who showed up and did a fantastic result, not having a lot of physical racing experience, but having it from the sim racing. And it's because sim racing is such a interconnected part with modern racing. And so, if you want to get your head into some racing, I've just been over the Sims today, and it was a lot of fun. So definitely go and check them out. Good deals going on. But yeah, again, not only just a thank you to all the team here, but a thank you to you guys for showing up. An event like this would be nothing if it was just all staff standing around running the carts without people to hear the crowd cheer, to watch the race and to enjoy it. And those on the live stream, we haven't really thanked you enough, but for joining the live stream, if you're watching it now live in your home, or if you're watching it later onwards and rewatching some of the great coverage from this year's IORK, we want to really thank you as well.
And maybe we can have a big applause for Ash, who's done such a fantastic job over the last few days here at Go Media Stadium.
Listen,
and I do believe there is a little rumour going around that we may even have a commentators team entered. That could be exciting.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Remy. I haven't heard it, but of course, I'm just one part of a team. Obviously, thanks to my fellow counterpart here, because this whole weekend we've been relying on each other. Every time we need a break, this commentary stuff is hard, and my voice has been through hell over these past 3 days, and I would not have survived it without you, because genuinely, every time I needed to breathe, I would look to him like, please, dear God, talk.
Well, keep sucking on those lozenges, mate.
Gone through a pack of them, but...
You'll be right.
Of course, yeah, great team here, and yeah, just a thanks to everyone. So we'll get back with the racing in a few more minutes. We'll give you a little bit of peace and quiet and enjoy the music in the night, and we'll be with you soon.
Okay, don't go away, folks. We've still got another final to run. And this can only be the under 69 kg category. And this is going to be a barn burner, this one. We'll just get our screen going, hopefully. Might have to have Nick out here. Is Nick around? Okay, we'll just adjust the screen, get the grid positions. Okay, This is the final of the under 69s. Let's get ready to rumble. On grid 1 we have car number 5. It is Durham Jones. On grid 2 is car number 10, Levi Cavill, all the way from Nelson. On grid 3 is car 12, Charlie Keyworth, got to be one of the favourites. On grid 4 is car 16, Noah Hoy. On grid 5 is car number 13, Matt Buckley. On grid 6, could be about to lose his locks, it is Jalen Carley. On grid 7, it is car number 18, Emma Roberts. Watch your back, Jalen Carley. On grid 8, it is car number 8, Spencer Burgess. On grid 9, it is car number 7, Toby Weymouth. On grid 10, it is Bianca Dippolina. On car 21, okay, I butchered that one. On grid 11 is Jared Wilson in car 15. Then we've got Quave Crowther from Nelson on grid 12 in car number 14. Then Christchurch's former champion on grid 13 is cart number 20, Adrian Lang. Grid 14 we have cart number 3, Chaplin Chan. On grid 15 is cart number 17, Ding Zoe. On grid 16 is cart number 11, Elliot Soft. And on grid 17, backseat of the bus, is cart number 6, and that is Billy Lee.
Yeah, this is a really fast category. We've been seeing it throughout the night, and it's a good opportunity for some of those drivers we saw earlier in the under 18s category to have a second chance at this, a second chance at that championship and a second bite of the apple to get their revenge. So should be a fantastic race. To all the drivers out there, if you can hear me, it's the last race of the night, so give it your all, make it one exciting one, and let's see this IORK 2025 out with a bang. Everything on the line now for this championship.
Well, I see apple there, I think it's cherry, but you got to the core of the matter. That's what's important there, Ash.
Yeah, totally.
I believe this may be the last race.
Yeah, it's the last race of the night, so good opportunity now for the drivers. Put it all on the line, as we said, second chance for them. So, yeah, it's sad to see this event come to an end, but obviously happy as well. So one more champion to be crowned tonight. Thank you to all the audience who have hung around after the end of their races. Let's go. Is it going to be Auckland? Is it going to be Wellington? Is it going to be Christchurch? Into the first lap. Here we go. Levi Chaplin. Cavill trying to push his cart to the front. He's trying to get a great start, but not able to. Oh, he's going to lose 2 positions to Durham Jones and Charlie Keyworth.
Don't discount the Nelson drivers either. They're no
Of course, Nelson showing a fantastic showing. Obviously, a great region, very, very sunny, fantastic place to race. It looks like very hard to see from that far back, but maybe Charlie Keyworth out in front.
Well, I don't think Christchurch has got too many hopefuls in this one.
It is Charlie Keyworth out in front. Charlie Keyworth taking a strong lead from third to first. That was a great job, followed closely by Levi Cavill. Again, one of those competitors from our under 18, so a very young competitor there. Ding Zhao in the pits, and so is
Adrian Lang further back in the field. Could be one to watch, a former champion.
And like Emma in card 18 getting a pit stop out of the way very early, as well as Ding Zhao in the number 17 cart. So Emma manages to rejoin in the battle pack there. There's a lot of pace going through 2 and 3.
Okay, let's go through the order. Charlie Keyworth, your race leader from Nelsonian. Levi Cavill, can he bridge one back for the Nelson camp? Noah Hoy sits there in 3rd place. In fact, Noah's just moved up to 2nd. So I think Levi must be doing his pit stop now.
So we've got cart 10 coming in, which is Levi, correct. And 2 more carts back to back. Cart 15, which is Jared Wilson. And then double stacked, burning time, is cart 21.
Oh, that could really ruin the race.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's Emma Bianca. I think that's Bianca.
But one of the battles we've really got to watch, Lance, is the battle between Emma and Jalen.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
And advantage at this stage is Jalen sitting there in third place, so he'll be happy about that. This race could get quite hairy for him.
So as Charlie Keyworth and Noah cross the line, they are separated by 0.17 of a second. So they're just going to keep the pace up and fly around, the theory being just burn some fast laps while they've got fresh air, rather than coming in and pitting and getting out of stride.
Well, I'm sure the cream will rise to the top, I should say, slurring the words at this time of night. But it is Charlie Keyworth, your race leader. Kart number 12 with a 0.155. There's nothing in it. Noah Hoy is sitting there in second.
And just a little bit of bumper-to-bumper action out there. Noah gave Charlie a touch coming out of into turn 9, but then backed out of it, so didn't want to be perceived to be gaining an advantage. As you see, kart 11 and kart 8 in the pits, so that's Elliot Sofay in 11, and kart number 8, which is not on the screen.
Well, we've got Toby Weymouth back there in fourth place. He had a bit of success earlier on in the night too, did Toby Weymouth.
Yeah, Toby's very good. He is a very, very fast driver. So he could do very well in this category as well. And for her second pit stop of the night already, kart number 18, we've got Emma Roberts.
Looks like Emma going for a alternative strategy, you might say.
Yeah, getting those pit stops done early.
Jalen Carley still there in third position. Only 1.3 seconds behind Noah Hoy in second.
So there's a four-way battle pack there with Jalen, Toby, Noah, and
okay, we pick up your race leader, Charlie Keyworth. He's done 10 laps. He's got 0.4 seconds ahead of Noah Hoy. And back to Toby Weymouth. Now, Toby could be one to watch here in third place. Just have a look at those lap times. Could be the fastest lap times of the night here. 27.3 is the quicker so far. In second, Noah Hoy at 27.321.
as we see karts 13 and 3 come into the pits together. So that's Matt Buckley in the 13 kart and Chaplin Chan in the kart 3.
Still that lap record looking pretty safe, Lance. I think it's about a 26.8.
Yeah, we're not going to see 26s tonight, that's for sure.
But certainly the competition is pretty hot out there at the moment. Adrian Lang showing his experience, the former champion, now up to, he's dropped down to 6. He must be in the pits, is he? He is. Our leaders are coming in now. Charlie Keyworth, your race leader in the pits. And he's closely pursued by, is that Jalen Carr?
No, it's
no,
Noah fixing, so Charlie and Noah have put it together. And Noah got an absolute gift there because the kart that was in that box left just as he arrived. So he did not get slowed down by a pre-existing kart. And same's happening for kart number 8, Gifted. A perfect pit stop.
Bit of a drag race out of the pits. You know all about drag racing, don't you, Lance?
Yeah, so it's, and the giveaway rule coming out of these pits hasn't been clarified. So I don't know what happens. If you get a nose in front, you get right away. So we haven't had any pit lane incidences yet, so that's great.
I wouldn't speak too soon, but Toby Weymouth, your race leader in kart number 7, he's closely pursued by Jalen Carley. What did he have for breakfast this morning?
Nothing. He's trying to stay under that 40 kilo bracket. I don't know. The kid weighs nothing. He's crazy.
Charlie Keyworth back there in third, ahead of Noah Hoy.
Oh, it's a cut.
And Adrian Lang definitely not out of this one. He sits there in 5th place.
Levi Callow in the pits at the moment, so he's doing double duties. So it'll be interesting to see how fatigue affects him, as with only 38 minutes into the race. Emma Roberts with pit stop number 3 chalked off the list there. So that is dropping her to the back of the pack as Jalen Cayley comes in for his first pit stop in kart number 4. And so if you missed the Instagram today, there's a side wager going between Jalen and Emma. So Jalen's got beautiful long hair, and Emma also does. But if Emma beats Jalen in this race, he has to cut his hair off. So there's a little bit going on this wager.
Well, it's still Toby Weymouth, your race leader in kart number 7. We'll see what Charlie Keyworth, how far behind he is in second place. It won't be too long before Charlie crosses the line. I'm telling lies, it's taking a while.
As you see Durham Jones coming into the pits, and kart number 5 there.
There we go, I think that gap was about 25 seconds, so obviously Toby Weymouth is a pit stop behind at this stage. Oh, Toby's just come onto the straight now. Oh, look at this! 3 karts going out of Hammer and Tongs. Oh, he's in the pits.
Well,
Oh, that's Emma, once again, is that all of the stops? I tell you what, she must be out in the gym. She's got a long way to go.
I think she's not confident in the rain, so she's wanting to get these out of the way before it rains.
Well, this could be an interesting strategy there from Emma Roberts.
So Toby's in the pits, so our
Toby Weymouth had a good lead, and into the pits now is kart number 7, and that is Toby Weymouth. 25-second lead over Charlie Keyworth and Noah Hoy.
Will that be enough to hold his position as he rejoins? It won't be, I'm pretty confident.
Oh, Charlie struggled to get in the pits, a slow stop there for Charlie Keyworth, one of the favourites in this one.
So Toby and Charlie are on the same strategy there, so they're wanting to stay in line with each other, not getting out of sequence.
We've got new race leader is Noah Hoy. You know, in kart 16. But your man Jalen Carley sits there in second place.
A pretty respectable position there as kart 21 is coming into the pits for a start. Who is that? Is that Matt Buckley?
I'll tell you who's flying under the radar at the moment. In 4th spot, Adrian Lang from Christchurch. I think he's the sole Christchurch competitor. Oh no, of course we've got Emma Roberts, so there's 2 Christchurch drivers in this one. Charlie's trying to unlap himself right now.
So earlier we had karts 13 and 3 put together. They are still battling bumper to bumper. Chaplin Chan in 3 and up against...
Okay, we've got 2 karts in the pits. Kart number 11. I can't quite see the... Oh, it's kart number 4. So kart number 11 is Elliot Soft, and kart number 4, Jalen. Oh. Okay, that'll drop Jalen back down the field. Emma Roberts will have him in his sights shortly.
And we're talking about that race out of pit lane, and Jalen got ahead. So that was pretty fortuitous.
Oh, Toby Weymouth is back into the lead. We have a grid from ear to ear, but look who's in second place. Former champion from Christchurch. It is Adrian Lang, just 11.3 seconds behind. Chaplin Chan sits in 3rd, another 2 seconds behind Adrian Lang. Oh, Toby Weymouth in corner 5 just now. And look at those lap times. They're getting faster and faster. A 27.337 for Toby Weymouth. A 27.8 for Adrian Lang. Not sure if they quite have the pace to win this one, Adrian. And look, the Nelsonian, Clive Grauber, coming back into it in 4th place.
So I'd say he's a few pit stops behind. He's made it jump the queue a bit there. He's had a massive battle pack go through 2 and 3, and then it looks like they're on the back straight. So there's a lot of action to watch around the big spotlight in the middle there, turn 3 and turn 4. As people come off the straight, they just carry all of that speed across the grid positions and the start-finish line. So where it all comes into the bumpy feelies is in that turn 3 where you've got to do the sharp left-hander. So if someone's going to come unstuck or someone's going to get a bit of a boof out of the way, that's where it's going to happen.
We come round turn 8. It's pretty tight. Charlie Keyworth. Oh, we've got another pitter. Who's this? Oh, this is our race leader, Toby Weymouth. Got a 13-second lead over Adrian Lang. This could be a masterclass from Adrian Lang if he can pull off a podium here. So he's got a bit of disadvantage as far as weight goes for the first time ever.
Oh, there's a bigger round in turn 2 and 3. Oh, we've gone yellow. Oh.
And look at that, former champion Adrian Lang
under yellow
at the front. We've already seen a repeat winner of the IORK Championship earlier this evening. Of course, that was another Christchurch driver, Dan Canelli. Can we get another one? Well, it's pretty tight at the front. Look at this. Adrian Lang has a 0.8 second lead now over Chaplin Chan. And Charlie Keyworth up to 3rd. Our leaders are in that big gaggle of cars. He's got to look out. There could be a bit of touchy-feely stuff going on there. And Charlie Keyworth trying to get around one of the drivers. He sits in 3rd place overall at the moment. Noah Hoy back into 4th. Oh, it's changing every lap just about, the leaderboard.
So Charlie's taking a really wide line through 9, sticking far out on the left to be able to cut back across and hit that apex, but it's leaving him really open to attack, and he just about lost that position on this corner here, and he narrowly managed to keep up the what turned into the inside of turn number 2.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Lance, I think we've got the fastest lap we've had in the competition so far from Nelson's Levi Cabell at 27.168.
Heck. Well, he does weigh like 4 kilograms, so it's pretty quick out there.
And we've got Adrian Lang in the pits by the looks of it. Adrian slips right back to 6th place. Oh, yeah, 6th place at this stage. He'll be gutted about that. Well, he's still doing very fast lap times at 27.3 for Adrian Lang. That's not hanging around.
He definitely hasn't faded yet, and we've only got 29 minutes to go.
Yeah, Chaplin Chan is your new race leader with a 10-second lead over Toby Weymouth. Levi Cabell sits there in 3rd from Nelson.
Charlie and Noah have put it together side by side, almost to the second. So this is going to be a drag race out of pit lane.
Oh, Charlie's about to take the lead out of the pits. Charlie. No, actually, Charlie's further back in the field. He's in 6th position. Okay, this is Chaplin Chan, your race leader in kart number 3. Toby Weymouth sits in 2nd in kart number 7. And the Nelsonian, Levi Cabell, the speedster at the moment in kart number 10, is 3rd. still with the fastest lap time of a 27.1. Toby Weymouth back into the front. Levi Cavill sits in second. Chaplin Chan in third. From Adrian Lang, then back to Jared Wilson starting to knock on the door. You can hear those tyres working overtime, Lance.
Yeah, there's definitely been pushed to the limits at this time of the night with the track temperatures definitely dropping off. There's still some really out-the-gate driving lines coming out of 1, 2 and 3. Some guys are getting very frustrated being stuck in that pack. So we might see a little bit of elbows out and bumper-to-bumper persuasion, I think. Oh, one of them peels off into the pit, so that could relieve a little bit of that angst in the middle of that battle pack. I think it's Ding Zhao in kart 17. Yep. My man Ding taking a pit stop. Now, I think this is his second.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Oh, we've got somebody. Is he in the barriers? This looks over there at the start of the straight. He's turned around. How did he get in there?
Just in case you weren't aware, that's not a point of a track where you can easily get into. That's on basically a straight. It's not even a part that you're turning into. You're nowhere near that part of the track, so that's an incredibly unusual part. I've almost never seen anyone crash over there.
I'd say we probably had a bit of a helping elbow to get into that spot.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's why the marshals took so long to get over there, because that's the furthest part of the track. Emma Roberts. Oh no, those locks are safe. Jaden. Okay, so Toby Weymouth, you're still your race leader. 1.3 seconds over Levi Cavill. And back in there, third place at the moment is Chaplin Chan. And fourth at the moment is the Christchurch driver, Adrian Lang, just driving out of his skin.
So we have 9 carts in this train here. One peels off, but there's some rapid pace going into turn 1. I can't see this staying together for very long. Someone is surely going to crack and just...
Is that Toby Weymouth in the pits? It is. Toby Weymouth, your race leader. And there's Levi Cavill. 1 and 2 in the pits. Cart number 7 and 10. Your 2 race leaders. So Chaplin Chan's going to get the advantage out of this. And oh, what's happened there? Oh, Chaplin Chan has taken over the race lead. Ahead of Toby Weymouth. Charlie Keyworth sits there in third. Noah Hoy in fourth. And Jared Wilson. Where did Jared come from?
Yeah, good question. I think he was probably the beneficiary of a little bit of carnage out there and avoided it, made up some spots.
Levi Cavill now slips back to 6th. The South Island is slipping down the field, and Adrian Lang still there in 7th. Okay, here comes another pit stop. We'll just get the number. Here's cart number 3, and that is your race leader, Chaplin Chan. Cart number 8, sorry. Cart number 8 is Spencer Burgess. Okay, we pick up your race leader once again, Chaplin Chan, with a 0.1 second, so Charlie Keyworth is right on his hammer. We think Charlie may have passed them in cart number 12. We'll see as they come round. There's Charlie, and there's Chaplin Chan. Oh no, Chaplin Chan must have come in the pits, is he? No, he's dropped back. Yep, Charlie Keyworth and Toby Weymouth must have got ahead of Chaplin Chan, because Chaplin Chan has dropped down to 3rd place.
And the second battle pack behind that main group coming onto the straight now. Ding Zhao is being overtaken by Levi Cavill. Now Ding has been holding on really well, defending his position. He's definitely at a weight disadvantage to Levi, but he's getting the undercut going into 3, and if he can hold him out, he's going to get around him, because once you lose that momentum, or side by side going into 5, that big long sweeper, and little Levi gets the advantage.
Lance, look at this for the lead. Charlie and Toby going at a hammer and tongs for the lead. Into turn 1 they go. There's nothing between them. There's now a cart left between them.
The battle just doesn't give up with those two. I think it's going to be quite tiring for them. They've still got 22 minutes to go. The pit stops aren't long enough to give you a rest.
What do you reckon, Lance? Do you reckon Toby's giving Charlie a bit of Morse code on the back?
Oh, it's probably hard to tell from here, but I'd say there'd be a few hands in the air if that was the case. So you can't get away with that for too long without getting a...
Oh, here goes the switchback. Oh, great. Toby's got ahead of Charlie. Well, what's Charlie? He's trying to come back again, trying to do the under and over.
And he gets him back.
Oh, it's nose to tail as they come onto the back straight. 21 minutes to go. And Charlie Keyworth, your race leader, just from Toby Weymouth. I can tell you what. Oh my goodness. That's a big dive there from Toby. He ended up knocking over Charlie, and that ended up ruining both their races. A couple of hand gestures raised by Charlie because, man, he was not happy with that. But that was such a late lunge. Man, these two are just neck and neck between each other of the race lead right now. This is a really close battle. It's only centimetres that is separating these people, not even seconds. But 3 seconds back, you've got Noah Hoy, and just another second back is Levi Campbell.
Fantastic stuff.
Levi Campbell into 3rd now. So it's really heating up. We've got a north-south battle going on at the front of the field. You've got 2 North Islanders, 1 South Islander going at a hammer and tongs.
Toby's just dropping a little bit back now from Charlie, not able to fight quite as intense between them, so just getting a little bit of distance between them, or maybe Charlie's just extending his legs a little bit, but neither one of them looking like they're diving into the pits right now.
And just before coming into 1, Toby hung Levi out to dry, severely going into that long turn. I can't see from here, but maybe Levi got him back, but yeah, it was definitely ball banging him out wide.
So he balked him.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately now our race leaders are running into a bit of lap traffic here, and they're getting a little bit stuck behind. I think that's Levi in front of them. So Levi's trying to fight to be not lapped, but 1st and 2nd right now almost looking like a lap ahead of each other. This is a tight 1-3, and it's actually a podium battle, but Levi's falling back behind. You'd imagine for such a light driver he'd be blitzing these guys, but he's not. He's getting past on the back straight. He's hanging himself in there on the inside line, trying to block off Toby. Charlie Keyworth's got ahead, but Levi's blocking Toby from getting an attack on Charlie Keyworth. So Charlie Keyworth, and then in comes Toby on the inside line, and he gets the position passed on Levi, and now Charlie and Toby are going neck and neck into each other, and Levi's now a lap down.
Unbelievable. But it is still Charlie Keyworth, car number 12. And then we go back to Toby Weymouth, car number 7. Levi Campbell right there in the thick of the action in car number 10. Then back to Chaplin Chan, just a wee bit further back in car number 3.
Yeah, and these 3 are so fast with each other. They're just blitzing through the rest of the field. It looks like they're in a whole different race league. You'd almost think they had go-karts that were just extra horsepower on everyone else, considering how fast they're just dicing through everyone. Levi able to turn so dramatically on a dime with his light weight.
And you've got to say, Lance, those locks are still looking pretty good for Jalem. He's still there in 4th place.
Yeah, he's really getting attacked by Adrian Lang for a number of laps there. It's right on him. I thought he was going to lose the position there, but it looks like Noah Hoyle's managed to insert himself between the 2 of them. So that will take a bit of heat off Jalem. So now Noah's had the battle bring to him by Dink Zal.
Well, I would say that Jalen's going to have to watch his back if Adrian Lang is right up his stake, because Adrian's a good friend of Emma.
Well, Adrian's in the pits now, so that'll explain the change in order.
I mean, it's crazy, guys. I've just been watching this battle the whole time. Toby taking another dive on the inside line, trying the outside. These 2 are just not giving any quarter, lap after lap. They're not giving up. They're so intense. I hope you're watching this on the live stream, because you can see we're following the race leaders every lap. And man, these 2 are just not giving up on each other. They are so close for so many laps. Toby's not giving up, and this is one hell of a fight between Toby and Charlie. It'd be great to get a debrief from these two after the end of it, but finishing off IORK 2025 in style, we would say, with these two race drivers. Let's see if he goes for a dive now. Can Toby pass Charlie?
But still, Levi Campbell has the fastest lap. He's sitting there in third, the Nelsonian at 27.16. He showed his pace, and he's only 4.8 seconds behind the leader. This is going to be tight.
And Toby, it looks like Toby's coming in, Charlie's coming in for a break, so Toby's going to be our new race leader, and Charlie's coming in for his pit stop, so now a divergence in the pit strategy. Toby getting stuck in lap traffic, but now an opportunity to get past and finally move past Charlie, so maybe an overcut coming in for Toby, maybe an undercut coming in for Charlie. Let's see how this plays out. Your new race leader, Toby Weymouth.
Oh, a bit of advice going for Charlie Keyworth. Charlie's all psyched up, but he's going to have to watch that right. He's away in racing. And comes Toby. Toby's coming in for his pit stop, so he was about to lap Charlie, but now Charlie Keyworth's going to come and take the race lead because Toby's now pitting. Oh, and Toby's getting into a little bit of a fight. Charlie Keyworth's getting into a little bit of a fight as he's coming out of the pit lane. Lap traffic getting in Charlie's way. He just wants a clean lap, but now building up a really decent lead between him and Toby. And this could be a good chance for the Nelsonians because it is Levi Campbell, your new race leader.
And Toby's got a great exit from the pits. Charlie's only just coming into the final corner now. Looks like Toby's going to overcut Charlie in this one. Who's going to have the ultimate pace? It's Toby in the lead, then Charlie getting overcut.
Well, Charlie Keyworth sitting there in third place, and he's only 2 seconds behind arch rival Toby Weymouth in second.
Yeah, of course, and now Levi Campbell really fast. He's come in for his pit stop, so the young kid late at night still pushing really hard, but Levi now into the pits, but it's still a very tight battle between Charlie and Toby. Toby with the lead, but Charlie millimeters off, so this is basically a total reverse of the previous fight where Charlie was in the lead and Toby was trying to fight a fight. This is classic racing. There's give and take between these two. Which one's going to be our better attacker and which one's going to be a better defender? It's going to be a very intense race. Can Toby get past, can Charlie get past Toby in this one? Because Toby was a fantastic attacker, but now he's playing the defensive card.
Well, Lance, your mate there, Jalen Carley, in fourth place, but he's only 5.9 seconds behind the leader.
And he has got 3 very fast cars right up to his rear bumper. I actually think one of them give him a push. So who's right behind Jalen is Noah Hoyle. So there's definitely getting some instructions on how to go through that corner. And Noah actually just set the fastest lap of the race at 27.122. So that's nice to do when you're drafting so close behind somebody.
And Toby, they are so close to getting under that 27-second barrier, Ash.
Yeah, and Toby just, a little race update for your race leaders. Toby just eking out a little bit of a gap between him and Charlie. We saw Charlie do that earlier in the race, so just Toby and Charlie are so equally matched in this race that neither one of them is confidently ahead of the other. But yeah, Toby just, it's literally millimeters, people, literally millimeters between them.
Well, less than 15 minutes to go, and how do you see this one panning out, dear Lance?
Well, young Levi is climbing up the order quite quickly. He's just got past Galen. And I don't want to discount Ding Zhao. He is climbing up the order as well. He's really consistent. I think he got swamped a little bit on his last pit exit. But I would say he's got a very good chance of the podium tonight.
So you say it's going to be a late chance from Ding coming through?
Absolutely.
Oh wow, the give and take between Toby and Charlie is just awe-inspiring. What a way to finish IORK 2025, because it's so close between them. This is one of the best battles we had all weekend long. There's some more incidents going on in the infield, but the difference between these two, there's no way you could call a winner right now because there's just no distance between them. Either one of them could win this race. Either one of them could make a mistake and throw it all away.
Well, they very well could, but it's still Toby Weymouth from Charlie Keyworth at the moment. And Jalen Carley now up to third place. Those locks are looking pretty safe at this stage, Clark.
Wow, what's really impressive is that when you watch Toby and Charlie fighting each other, they come into lap traffic. Toby gets a pass over the lap traffic, and instantly Charlie takes the same, well, maybe not the same pass, but instantly in the same lap, able to pass that lap traffic. So both of them dicing through the lap traffic just as fast as each other, not letting any traffic get between them. No one's getting in between this battle between them. It's purely between Toby Weymouth and Charlie Keyworth.
Well, it's going to go down the wire, isn't it? There's only 0.7 of a second there, Ash, between our two front runners. 7 seconds now. Jalen Carley, he must be sitting pretty proud there in third place. A good chance of a podium for him.
And also there could be a change in the order. We just had 7th and 8th position put together. Ding and Chaplin, they came in line astern and exited at the same. So they are now going to jump up the order because they have done a pit stop. And I'm pretty sure Levi and Jared, who are ahead of them, have additional pit stops to do.
Well, I'll tell you what, this race isn't over till it's over.
Yeah, and Colin to Chaplin Chan doing a fantastic job. Not a name that we saw very early on in the heat races, being too frequently up there. So to see him in the top 4, that's a fantastic turn from Chaplin Chan tonight.
Well, Toby Weymouth, now that lead is just less than a second.
Toby stuck behind a bit of lap traffic there. They're going to hold him up, and that's going to give Charlie an opportunity to catch up. A little bit of a gap established in between them. Now there's some lap traffic between Toby and Charlie.
Certainly things can change in that last 12 minutes.
I'll tell you who that lap traffic is. It looks like it's Levi, so no, I'm not quite sure on that one, but lap traffic getting in, kart 14 getting in the way of that one.
You have to think, who's got the most desire to win this one?
It was
will it be Toby Weymouth? Will it be Charlie Keyworth? Or will somebody else come and spoil the party?
Yeah, well, Quaid right now is not really getting out of the way, blocking Charlie left front centre, but even gave a little bit of attack to Toby and made Toby say, reconsider that one. So now Charlie just making his way past Quaid, and now a strong battle between Charlie and Toby can reignite.
Oh, Levi Cabell coming back he's sitting there in 5th place. Very quick lap times from Levi Cabell, 27.122. That is the time by Noah Hoy.
And yeah, sorry, a little bit of technical difficulties here, so we're not able to follow the race leaders right now, but I'll keep you up to date on what's going on. So the battle between Charlie and Toby, again, it has not moved. Right now they're just leaving it outside of turn 3 and 4, heading into 5, heading into the back straight now, so the battle between them is still pretty close. Coming down the back straight now between Charlie and Toby, they're difference between them is, I would hazard a guess, about 3 meters difference between them, so a very, very close battle. How long have we got left in the session?
Well, we've just over 10 minutes to go, Lance. What's going to happen here? Pit stop still to come into play?
Possibly, I would imagine by now most people have had them all completed. It's far too risky to leave until the end, and I know everyone was worried about the rain, and so I'd say if anyone's got pit stops left to do, it is going to be to their detriment.
And who's got the stamina?
Listen, this Toby and Charlie battle has been going on the whole race, but I'm not going to write Jalem off just yet. And I think little Levi's got something left in the bag. This kid has just got energy for Africa. So let's see if the podium changes between now and the end of the race.
Yeah, young Levi, he's a real pocket rocket, and you can tell by his lap time.
He's very, very fast. What is he just cruising around at a 27.3, lap after lap after lap. So he's so consistently fast.
Unbelievable.
Oh, he's going to go around the outside of Jalem now. Jalem's not going to give it to him, but we'll see if he gets the switch back.
Yeah, and the question's going to be now, how many pit stops are left for them to do? So pit stops still playing a factor in this race, but the pace between these two, they're neck and neck every lap. They're setting lap times that are basically the same, almost no difference between them. So really impressive work from them.
Well, talking of neck and neck, look at the lead. It's down to 0.5 of a second. Charlie Keyworth has got the bit between his teeth. In second, trying to chase down Toby Weymouth. And Jalen's still there in third. Could be a podium at the end of this one for Jalen, but he's going to have to watch his back with Levi coming fast.
Well, the problem there is we've also got Noah Hoyle right with Levi, so you can make a small mistake. Jalen could go wide and he could lose 2 spots. Likewise, Levi could get too focused on battling Jalen, and then Noah's going to get them both.
And the distance, just an update, is about 3 corners difference between... There's about 3 corners difference between Levi and Jalen and Tony and Toby and Charlie. So Toby and Charlie now coming onto the final corner. Meanwhile, Levi and Jalen have only just got onto the back straight, so gives you a bit of an idea of the distance between them. But some fantastic battling going on from the front and from the back. Lap traffic does play a role in Toby and Charlie's battle, and there's already playing a factor in Levi and Jalen's battle.
I'll tell you what, now lead is now down to 0.4 of a second. So Charlie Kieweb, how much does this, when you're behind your competitor, how much does this edge you on lap?
Oh, Toby's getting completely boxed in here by lap traffic. Charlie's got a perfect opportunity to strike if he plays it smart here. Toby just cutting through lap traffic. Can he do this one? He switches around the outside, and he does successfully make it, but he can get pushed in. That's a great move from Toby. He's now got a person between him and Charlie. That's a fantastic result. Oh, Toby's lost it. Hard to tell from the back. I think Toby's still got it.
Oh, here we go. Lap traffic is definitely coming into play here. And that looks like Adrian Lang just ahead from Christchurch.
Yeah, and you can just see now, again, as I was saying, the second that Toby makes an attack, Charlie makes an attack a second later. So once again, that lap traffic barely playing a role in this battle because both of them are so adept at passing. Seriously, it feels like they're in a whole nother league, a whole different category.
Well, I'll tell you what, things are drifting back for third and fourth. Jalen Carley looks secure in third place.
Looks like
Something's happening here. What's happening here?
Looks like Charlie's got the run on Toby here. There's an opportunity to strike while the iron's hot. Charlie coming in. He's got some good overspeed. Can he do the switchback? No, he's just a little bit too far back on Toby this time, but that was a really close run.
There, Ash. Look at the number of the cars.
Yeah, there is, but I don't
going to happen here.
I don't think this is going to play a role in that. Again, I've watched them so many times cut through the lap traffic like this, like butter. I don't think it's going to play a factor in Toby and Charlie's race, but we'll see now. Toby getting boxed in, Charlie getting a run on him. Charlie going to go around on the outside if he can. This is a smart move. Toby going in tight. And the lap traffic blocking Charlie from getting a good attack on Toby. So Toby got one position, Charlie not able to. Toby goes for a second lunge, wasn't able to. Charlie coming in around the outside of the lap traffic. And now, once again, Charlie and Toby are neck and neck again.
Oh, that lead is down to 0.1 of a second.
Yeah,
there's nothing between these two. You could throw a blanket over them.
No, they're totally caught in the lap traffic, so they have to be bunched together. And any move between them, like there's melodies. Oh, Charlie's coming in on the inside. I think there's going to be a lap change. Toby's got the inside of the next corner. Toby goes into the...
Yes! Go, Charlie! No microphone. Microphone dead.
Keyworth. I don't think that's working.
That's fine. That's not going through the speakers. Just going to the live stream.
Oh, Charlie Keyworth and Toby Weymouth. They're going at hammer and tongs. Either of them could win this race. Okay. We'll just try and pick up your race leader. Oh, look at that order. It is Charlie Keyworth, your race leader from Toby Weymouth. Oh, lead change for third and fourth. Levi Cavill, the Nelsonian, now through to third place ahead of Jalen Carley. And then we go back to Noah Hoy. Oh, 27.06, just about into the 26-second mark from Levi Havel. He's a real flyer from down south in Nelson. Can he close that gap back? We have a look at the gap back from second to third. And I think it's only about 1 second. So about 20 seconds still to go in this one, I believe. And your race leader is Charlie Keyworth. Can he pull it off? The checkered flag is there, and Charlie Keyworth has done it from Toby Weymouth in second, and a terrific drive from Levi Cavill, who just get there ahead of Jalen Carley. We'll have to wait for those positions to be confirmed. Noah Hoy is back there in fifth place, and sixth is Dingzo, and back in seventh is Chaplin Chan, just ahead of Christchurch's Adrian Lang. Well, how about that, folks? A terrific jive from Charlie Keyworth. Okay, as he comes round with the checkered flag, he's just getting his photo taken. Well, Charlie will be ecstatic about that. He's holding up the finger for number one. So give it up for Charlie Keyworth. Also to Toby Weymouth in second. And Jalen Carley just nipped poor old Levi Cavill towards the end of the race. But at least Levi Cavill will get the satisfaction of the fastest lap of the race, a 27.097. Okay, and back in fifth place was Noah Hoy, and behind him was Ding Zoe. Well, we'll try and get an interview with our race winner, Charlie Keyworth. There'll be just a minute or two before he gets his helmet off. Okay, we'll just get Charlie over here. Charlie. They say the cream rises to the top, and it definitely did in the under 69 kg final, and that tight battle, lap after lap with Toby. You must have been under horrendous pressure.
All I wanted to do was catch him, you know. It was such a hard battle. He raced so well. He would gain time, I would lose time. I would gain time, he would lose time. It was just neck and neck the whole race. As soon as I saw we got back to the lap markers, I was so happy because I thought that was my chance to get to him. And it was, you know, congrats to him. He raced amazingly. Congrats to everyone for running this event. And thank you to everyone getting me here. Dad, Gabriel, the Jacks, you know, D, all my friends, because it's been the hardest week of my life, and thank you so much for everyone for getting me here.
Well, congratulations, Charlie. That was the race of the night.
Thank you very much.
Well, that just about wraps it up for the 2025 New Zealand Rental Kart Champs here at Go Media Stadium. And we've seen some plenty of action, and we'll make sure you're back here next year.
TV Land. This is Dan here from live here at Auckland. We've just resulted in a little bit of technical difficulties at the end of that race, but jeepers, what a race to the wire. All racing in the 69 category, awesome racing from everyone in every category. This has gone down as yet again the best IORK ever done. If you want to get involved, check out the IORK website, iork.nz, and get your entries in for next year. Thank you very much to my commentary team, Ash from Auckland, Lance from Tauranga, Lawrence from Christchurch, myself, Nick Fowler for organising IORK, Tom from Nelson being head track marshal. The team here at Ace Motorsport have been absolutely outstanding. They've been put through the ringer work-wise. IORK is the hardest weekend to ever run for a crew, and they have just stepped it up and had an awesome time. Now for a bit of fun, we've put a transponder on Fraz Buteri's scooter, and he's doing a lap around the track as a final memento for this weekend. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in for this event, because this event is nothing without the competitors. We will see you all again in 2026. Bye for now from me and my team here at IORK 2025.